I guess I'll introduce myself because, yeah. Hey, what's up? My name is Aislinn. I'm super phlegmy right now. I had mozzarella. I'm very sorry for that. It'll be a little wonky getting started, but we'll get it rolling. On to you, Skish.
Back to the studio with Skish.
I'm a little bit illiterate. Skish. Skish. Cara?
I'm not drunk, I'm just quirky. My name's Cara.
Cara. Oh my god. This is so, like, stiff.
It is.
We'll get better at this. We'll get better at this.
Yeah, guys, just
Okay.
Patience, man.
Oh my god.
And I'm Autumn, and I will be your interpretive dance instructor. And welcome to Banter.
Babes.
Yeah.
Banter. Wait, do it again.
Babes.
Babes.
It's just such a British couple of words.
Hey, man.
It's like,
That's where my mind's at. I love them Brits.
Okay, what's our first topic?
You're looking at me.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
So,
Can we
what's on today's agenda to discuss?
We are 3 minutes in, and we've talked about nothing.
We just got good, bro. We will get there.
Alright, we're still getting into the swing of things,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
figured that the first podcast should be about our trip that we all took together. Like
It'll-
almost 2 years ago.
Oh my
That's
god.
so sad.
This will give you a hint into what we're like in very strange situations.
I'm a little bit concerned because Aislinn has told me that this is like, compared to her other trips, this is like the most normal
Dude,
like trip that
this
she's
is
ever been
so
on.
normal, you guys.
I literally describe this as like the chaotic trip.
None of us got kidnapped. I call that a win.
That's true. I don't know.
Objectively a good time.
We have an entire page worth of notes about stories that happen. I feel like that doesn't happen very often.
Oh, that's funny. We gotta go on another trip together. Let's see how crazy you can get this time.
Okay, so what was the first day?
Mm.
What did we do first?
I guess you should do like a retelling of. So basically, this was my graduation trip because I graduated high school.
Now you're old.
Almost 2 years ago. So we went to Disney World.
Nice.
Plain and simple.
So Aislinn used to live here, and then that was back when you moved back to Colorado.
Yeah.
So you had to fly across country
I did.
to meet us in Orlando. So
First time alone, too.
Yeah, you did great.
Oh, thanks.
We
I
met.
didn't really, though. Did you know the plane story? I told you the plane story.
Oh, the luggage thing. Oh, we have to put that on there too. Do you
What
wanna
happened with
share
my
that?
luggage?
Wasn't that like your luggage got covered in like?
Oh, yeah, that was funky stuff. I don't even know what that was.
Funky stuff.
Either dog peed or that was, like, definitely jet pee.
Wasn't
What?
it like
It was, like, the
antifreeze?
Yeah, it was the
solution or
antifreeze,
something?
but that's actually not even the story I'm talking about.
Oh,
On
well,
the
do
plane.
share.
Sorry, no, you guys are in the middle of something.
No,
No, I was literally just starting from the beginning. So
Okay.
So your
well,
story
so
was-
I, like, you guys were all, like, you know, hanging out there already, right? Like, for, like, 1-2 days. So I'm like, you know, okay, I'm going to Disney World, like, randomly, and this will be great. So I get on the plane, and I fly in at night. And I decide I'm going to be one of those Instagrammer cute girls. And I'm going to post the landing, like, into Florida and be like, oh my gosh, I just made it. And so I decided to take a video of the landing. And I don't realize that the flash is on. And so I go to take the video, and we're landing, and the flash goes on. I'm right over the plane wing. And so the
prime
flash goes
Instagram
off.
spot.
Yeah, prime Instagram spot. I do it, and the flash turns on. It starts like flashing, right? So then I turn it off because I'm like super flustered, right? Then the flight attendant comes back and is like, "Bro, what did you just do?" Like questioning me, like, what was that? Like making sure I wasn't, I don't know, sabotaging the plane. I don't know. It was horrible. And so then I'm just standing there like, oh my gosh. And I thought they were gonna haul me off to jail, and I was like, well, they're gonna have to pick me up out of jail. And I was like, this is gonna be great. They're gonna pick me up out of jail, and then it's gonna be funky the rest of the trip because Aislinn got arrested. But yeah, and so that was the craziness on the plane. Then the girl next to me was drunk the entire flight, and she woke up like towards the end, and she like was telling me her story. She was from Paris, darling, is what she said. And then she was like, can I have a pack of gum? Because I had like a big pack of gum. She wanted a whole pack. I had to give her a whole pack of gum.
Ew.
She was a businesswoman, and I aspired to be her when I grow up.
I want to be the
gladly
kind of
give her
person
that
that
gum.
boldly asks for an entire pack.
I want to be
of
that
gum.
person. I'm so not that person. I want to be that person. So that was basically the fiasco of getting there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
no, I
that's
don't
fine.
even remember
I've never
that.
even heard of
I
that
know.
before.
Well, when I
What
got
you were doing?
What?
What did they think you were doing? Like starting a
Sabotaging.
fire?
I don't know, man. But it was funky. Like the flight attendant was like, "Please get up," and they had to pat me down on the flight.
What?
Really?
Yeah, in the middle of the island, I'm like, "Pat me down." I ain't afraid.
No, I've never heard this.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
never even heard
well, I
that
got
before.
it and I wanted to put it behind me, so I like didn't. I said like a little bit. I was like, "Yeah, I got like." This thing happened on the plane, but I didn't like go into detail. That's
Yeah.
what happened. It was really funky, and that was my first time being pat down.
Congratulations.
That was my first time being patted down.
Wow.
That sounds a little funky. It's fine, you guys. It was
Professionally.
I had a professional pat me down.
Anyways, take it away, Ben.
I don't think we did much.
Yeah, so we all
Before.
drove down. Me, Sasha, Kiara, and Sasha. What's the grammatical way to say that? Sasha and I's parents. Mine and Sasha's parents.
Mine.
Mine. We all drove down to Orlando a couple days before Aislinn flew in. So nothing really happened on the road trip, I don't think. Yeah.
Excuse me.
And now we will present the first burp count.
That wasn't even a good one.
Oh, you can do so much better.
I know. That's like really low on the burp.
The burp scale.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this on a platform where you can comment, please comment down below and rate Aislinn's burps. You can put the timestamp of which ones, because we need to keep an accurate rating of how good they are.
If I have like a Big Mac beforehand, it'll be really good.
Yeah.
But besides that, they're pretty timid these days.
You
Timid?
did have Mott's.
I had Mott's, which is a step in the right direction. But
So
I think
we
the
drove down. What was the first one?
I think the first thing on the list, at least, is the ice cream tub.
Do you want to explain?
I don't know the place that it was at.
It's called the Beach Club. Oh, well, that's the resort. The resort's called the
No.
Beach Club, but
isn't it on like the pier?
yeah. So there's a little pier of restaurants and hotels that goes
Pier is such a funny word.
around like the backside of Epcot. There's
Oh, okay.
probably oh my gosh, I really hope nobody listens to this. So I'm just like, there's like this pier behind Epcot. It definitely has a name.
Pier is such
What
a
was
weird
it
word.
called? I know it
Um,
had a name.
It probably did. The hotel was called the Beach Club.
Wasn't it called like the kitchen sink?
That's
Yeah,
the
the
ice
one.
cream.
Okay, that's
yeah,
the ice
but
cream,
yeah.
the ice cream shop is like super famous, and it looks like this cute little classic
Like a
diner
Coney Island
situation.
kind of looking
Yeah,
thing?
it has like
Cool.
6 tables.
Oh,
You know, it's
we
a
were
restaurant
so
at Disney
blinded by the
World, and
ice
it has
cream, we
like
didn't pay attention
Was
to
this
where we
before
were.
COVID? It was
Yeah.
before COVID.
It was tiny.
I was just gonna say like they only have 3 tables available, and then I'm like,
No.
wait, this
No,
is
they
way
just
before
only have
COVID.
three.
Yeah, this is BC, man.
Hold on, I'm looking this up real quick. Oh, that's so depressing.
Before COVID.
Oh my god.
I see that all the time, and then people are like, and then they
Price
get
is
it, and
just
they're
like-
like, oh, that's so funny, and I'm
Oh.
like, I know. Yeah,
Beach
and depressing,
Club
but mostly
ice
funny.
cream
You gotta find the
shop.
humor in the really sad stuff, right?
Oh, it's called Beaches and Cream.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
So Beaches and Cream soda shop at the Walt Disney World Resort.
Oh,
It's very
Um,
cute.
It is cute.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
like-
you really need a reservation because I think we had one.
Yeah, we had to
Oh,
get a
okay.
reservation for it, but it was like
Yeah.
because there was like 6 tables in there. Like
Seriously, it's tiny.
Uh-huh.
And you don't realize as you're walking in why they have sirens on the roof. Like I mean you just don't think about it. It just looks like a light or something. But they have sirens on the roof because when you order this one specific item on the menu,
Which we ordered.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course. That's
obviously.
why we were there.
which is called the kitchen sink, and it's the only reason that we went.
It goes off.
Yeah, the alarms go off.
And everyone stops what they're doing and looks directly at you, and it's the most beautiful situation I've ever been in.
All
You probably love
25
that
people in this restaurant.
Yeah.
Stop what
all
they're doing.
staring at you.
They stare at you. The lights go down. The alarm goes off, and
Ew.
it makes a siren noise.
The purge starts.
The purge starts. You have to get under the table. There's a lot of
Yeah.
fist fighting.
They give you weapons, but like, they're not very good.
Yeah.
you only have a kitchen sink to work with.
You dump it out, put it on your head.
It's just a helmet.
Breaks off the faucet, throws
Yeah.
at a person.
Exactly. I got the recipe.
Okay. Do you wanna read it or?
Sure.
Okay. So this is what you're signing up for when
There's
you buy the
so
kitchen sink, and I
much.
think it's like $28, which considering it's supposed to serve like 4 or 6 people or
Yeah,
something like that.
Which is
so
like good.
it's really not
That seems
expensive.
cheap, honestly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For Disney prices, that seems really cheap.
Seriously. All right. Go.
There's a lot.
Mhm.
So here we go. There's fudge topping, butterscotch topping, peanut butter topping.
Whoa.
There's a banana. There's a whole banana. A
Sliced into
cinnamon.
half-inch slices.
It's a banana.
It's a banana.
There's an entire cinnamon cupcake.
Ooh.
There's an angel food cupcake. There's 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream, 2 scoops of chocolate ice cream, 2 scoops of strawberry ice cream, a scoop of mint chocolate chip, a scoop of coffee, chocolate syrup, marshmallow cream, strawberry topping, pineapple topping, a brownie, a candy bar, 4 chocolate cookies, almonds, dark chocolate. There's another cookie. There's jellied orange slices.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh.
There's
I
then
remember
chocolate
those.
chips, peanut butter chocolate chips, rainbow sprinkles, chocolate sprinkles, and maraschino cherries, and a whole can of whipped cream.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, so as if having the entire restaurant look at you and the sirens and the alarms going off. Also, every single employee has to come out and chant like it's some
Bro,
kind of ice cream
yes.
seance right at you while they're putting it on the table. He has to like read all this stuff as fast as humanly
Yeah.
possible. So he reads all the ingredients by memory, which actually is really impressive
Yeah.
now I'm thinking about it.
Next rapper right there. I got my
Absolutely.
start at
Yeah, I started at Beaches and Cream.
the whole kitchen sink. I did that.
That's his rapper name is the kitchen sink.
Oh god.
You go to a rap battle and just list all the ingredients in the kitchen sink. But as if that's not humiliating enough, then every other server also has to echo, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
While you're
fun.
just sitting there like sinking into
Oh,
your.
and also the waiter like made fun of us while we were there. Like he came by and gave Kiara like a little baby bowl and spoon. And he
Oh,
was
you
like,
showed
"This is
him,
gonna
Ron."
be enough, right?" And you were like, "What?" I just didn't know what to do, and he just took it away. He was obviously joking,
Yeah.
but it was not funny.
I was like,
It was like not
Boy.
already uncomfortable.
are you joking me
You
right
got to be beat down.
When we didn't finish it, spoiler alert, we didn't finish
What?
it.
Really?
There was like a little pool
No,
at the
we
bottom
couldn't.
because it all melted.
That's what
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. Is like, doesn't it all melt like halfway
It did.
through?
Oh, and also, by the way, it comes in. I'll put a picture on the YouTube thing, but it's like it comes in a sink. Like
Yeah,
it's an
it's literally-
industrial.
a sink.
It does it have a stand on it, or does it just?
There's like a
And
little.
I think it has a little. It's almost like a little dessert
Nubbin?
stand
Yeah,
thing, a little
nice.
nubbin, a little spinny nubbin.
Little nubbins.
But it has like seriously like the
Nubbins is
handles
such a
or
good
like
word.
the whatever those are called, the things that
Yeah.
you turn on the sink.
Oh
and
yeah,
have the
yeah.
faucet.
The faucet and everything. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And like they handed me after that, they gave me like this huge spoon, like it was like 10 inches long.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was
So they gave you a baby
Challenge
one, and then they gave you a
accepted.
giant one. Like I
Yeah.
just want a spoon.
and then Autumn took a picture, a video of me when they handed it to
I
me.
did.
and
I've
I
never
made, like,
seen
the-
such passion in your eyes. She was so excited.
We're going for a record.
my eyes were huge.
Basically bulging out of your face.
They
You
were
so
bigger than
excited.
Iceland.
That's saying something.
I just found the video, and I'm not gonna post it. Like I'm not gonna post the video, but I'll put the audio for it in here right now.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, now presenting our world famous kitchen sink with 8 scoops of ice cream, every single topping in the house, and a whole can of whipped cream. That's the whole can, and my friends are gonna finish every last bite. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Because I can't. That's my. Here comes the audio face.
Love
Because
it.
I can't play it right now. But yeah, I guess you could say that we conquered the kitchen sink. We didn't really.
There was basically just soup left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
did
he
all
also
of
offered to take a picture of us.
Oh, it was the most awkward
With the
picture.
sink.
Oh,
We're all
that's
like,
funny.
I'm like with my big spoon, like,
Look at my face. Look at how uncomfortable I was in that moment.
That is awesome. So did your parents come too?
Only mom.
Mom did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was 4 of us technically.
So I ate about like 2/8 of it. Autumn ate 2/8 of it. My mom ate 2/8 of it, and then Kiara had the rest.
which is 2/8.
which is 2 weeks.
Oh
Is it 8 and on? Oh dear God.
Dude,
No.
same boat right now.
Homeschooled. Okay.
Homeschooled. There you go.
Heck yeah!
clarify, I
don't do
homeschooled.
math.
It's not
She
an
had a
intellectual podcast.
I had like 2 bowls and she probably had 5 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm small, but I can eat a lot of
You
ice
did.
cream.
I'm very proud of you. You did so much.
Also, by the way, I'm allergic to dairy. I kind of forgot about that.
That's
It was worth it,
important
though.
part.
It was so
was
worth it.
beautiful.
Yeah.
But then when we didn't finish it, the guy came back and was like,
Oh.
"What is this?" And I was like, nothing." He was like, "You really couldn't finish it."
That's when I just would have been like super that person and like picked it up and drank the rest of
Oh,
it just to be
yeah.
like
chugged
in your
it.
face.
Boom.
We were
Physically
comatose,
could
though.
not.
Yeah,
move.
that's
It
true.
was
Hazel
terrible.
just busts out of the corner and drinks the thing.
Drinks the whole.
I know if you were there, we probably could have finished it.
Yes.
Man,
That's true.
Probably.
You and I would have died after. I
would
would've
have
been
scratched her
burping.
entire.
Oh wait,
skin
aren't we
off.
all dairy intolerance?
I think in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a not very fun way. Autumn's skin peels off. I
Yeah.
have to
Oh.
poo.
You know, it all affects us in our own way.
in different
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
How are you affected, Kara?
Dairy is much
I
like
kind of like
grieving
my
process.
stomach just like blah, but I still eat like
She just feels yucky.
yeah, pretty
That
much.
might just be
And
a
yet we
human
eat
thing.
ice cream like
Maybe.
every
Like, we're not
night,
supposed to
pretty
have
much.
dairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then why can we milk it so easily out of udders?
If no have milk, why titty milk so easy?
Why do we milk so easy? That should be our life motto.
If milk bad for me, why titty milk so easy?
Oh my gosh.
Alright,
Okay.
so what would be canonically the next
I don't remember.
I think we went
This is
to
where we
we went to Disney next,
did we?
and we
Oh yeah,
went
we
to
went to
Did
Magic
you guys go to
Kingdom.
Park a day
Yeah,
without
we went
me?
to Magic
No,
Kingdom.
no, we didn't.
No.
So that night, so we did this. We check into the hotel, and then we go to the airport. We pick Aislinn up, which was like past midnight. I
Yeah,
think
it
super
Oh,
late.
it was
Ooh.
late, yes.
Yeah. So then we go back to the hotel. But the next day we go to Disney Springs. So the 4 of us, we go to Disney Springs
Oh yeah, we
Um,
watched Avengers Endgame.
because we go to see
Yeah.
Endgame,
Yes.
which I think we had all already seen it. So it
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
like
still cried our eyes out.
Oh,
but, like,
that still
Still
does happen,
bald.
and it will always happen.
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think anything super
I don't think-
revolutionary happened.
Yeah,
well,
I
there
feel
was
like it was
those
all-
guys sitting behind us at the movie theater were intense fans. That was hilarious. They were
I
super
don't even
funny.
want to make fun of them because I was doing that
No,
on the
and I
inside.
understood exactly where they were coming from. They were great, but I remember like they were crying super a lot during like
But
you know
imagine
the
like
scenes.
these full like muscle men.
They
like-
were honestly, and
don't
that
even
was the
remember
funny
them.
part. Is like one of them was wearing like a wife beater, and it said it was something about "I love you 3000," but like his girlfriend wasn't there, so like. You know, because you know those like couple shirts that are like, "Oh, I love you 3000," and it's like all that stuff. But he didn't have his girlfriend there, so it was just him wearing this white beater that says "I love you 3000," and I'm like, "All right, bet." Like that's so
Okay.
good. But they were crying up a storm, and those I felt their pain.
I've always
Truly.
wondered, you see those like, I don't know if those novelty shirts in the Disney stores that are like, I love you, I know, like all those. But you always have to be next to your person, like next to
Yeah.
your husband
Especially
or
those
wife
ones
or
that
in
whatever.
like the
like,
right
point.
direction too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like,
Like what
you're
if
just
it points
walking around
the
with a
wrong
shirt
person?
that
That's
says
just rude.
you're just walking around with a shirt that says I know. Doesn't make any sense.
It'd be funny to walk up to them and be like, "What do you know?" Like, and
Yeah.
see
What do
they
you
think.
know?
Teach me your wisdom.
Teach me your wisdom. That's funny.
So I think canonically,
That's a
running for the
fancy word.
fireworks would be. the
Oh,
next
yeah.
one.
Oh, okay.
I still feel really bad about that.
I do too.
It was glorious.
And I love how these two, the ones that we're supposed to like, we're supposed to be role models or whatever, we
Yeah.
just book it, and they're like the ones that have to deal with people yelling at us.
So these
Uh-huh.
two, Autumn and Aislinn, are very attached to the Disney fireworks, and I get
Yeah.
it. That's great. I don't like fireworks, so I'm scared of loud noises. I'm a child. It's okay. But they wanted to see it so bad.
So it had been rainy. That was our Magic Kingdom
Yeah.
day, and I don't think it had rained all day.
No.
But at the part of the day where it shouldn't have rained, it started raining.
And there was love bugs. Oh, that's another story.
Oh, yeah.
But the love bugs were off the charts.
Florida,
Apparently,
man.
it was like the most love bugs that have ever been.
It
in
was the
Orlando.
worst. They just making
They
love.
were so.
They just like right on you. They don't even give you a warning.
Random time.
Flicks them off, kills one
Buy
of them
me
in
a
the
drink
process.
first. Flicks them off. Oh my gosh.
Cut short. Never mind. Okay, I'm so sorry.
Oh
I'm so sorry.
no! Fireworks, people.
We can just edit this
fireworks.
out. Yeah, let's get back on track.
So it starts raining. right before firework time, and we're so bummed because, and the thing about Disney too is like they're not going to actually tell you that the fireworks are canceled until like 20 minutes after they were supposed to start. So I think I even remember going into one of the shops and I asked a cast member because I was so like, I want to know if
It was
these are happening.
after Space Mountain.
Right. I go in and I ask a cast member, like, hey, do you know if there's going to be a fireworks show tonight or not? She looked at me like that was the stupidest question that I have.
That was awesome.
I was just like, that's,
funny.
you know, I wasn't being a Karen. That's a
No.
normal thing to ask. I didn't know if they had, like, special insider intel about what the fireworks. She was like, I don't know. And so I was like, okay. And we left and we went on Space Mountain. But post Space Mountain, so we wait in the whole line. And we leave Space Mountain, and all of a sudden...
That ride's
It was,
terrifying,
like,
just so you know.
In the gift shop, out of Space Mountain, you heard like just a, whoa, leaf fell on me. You hear one firework.
It's like,
And Autumn's
And all
face
hope.
drops.
It was just distant booms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just distant boom.
You know, like fireworks.
Boom. And suddenly I heard a boom.
It was in the distance.
Anyway, at that moment, Autumn's face dropped, and then she booked it.
like the
She
fastest she's
so
ever run in
rude.
her life.
And the thing
You're right. You're right.
And the thing is that like it was so cute because we were looking at something in the gift shop, and then she hears that boom, and she looks up at me, and she just goes, "The fireworks!" and she books it. So these two are like still shopping, right? And I just like see Autumn run. I'm like, "All right, bet, let's go run." Like I'll go. And so like I remember we didn't even say anything to you guys.
like,
we just
see them-
ran.
We just see them like run out the door.
For context, I am 4 years older than Sasha, 5 years older than Kiara. I should be the one that has, you know, my faculties under control.
But it was just like a domino effect.
Something
because
just
it
took
really
over
was.
me.
Autumn
Dude,
was
honestly, I've never
possessed
seen
by
that.
a demon, and then she took off.
The
Then
nostalgia
Aislinn
demon.
took off, and then Kiara left, and I was in the gift shop like, I don't want to run.
So picture this: it's rainy, it's dark. Well, it's not totally
Which is
rainy, but
kind
the
of
ground's
magical.
wet.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was raining because it's like
Yeah.
our version of the Notebook. But in the end,
Yeah.
we didn't need guys. We just needed Disney
It's just
fireworks.
me and you running to the
Like,
fire.
there was literally puddles everywhere.
There were puddles, which I totally understand why you're not allowed to run. 'cause
Those
I
were
could've
fun to
broken my
jump
neck.
in. Just saying, while we ran,
Uh-huh.
I felt like a little froggy frog.
But it
But
was
then we have like all these like people, like not
Ugh.
like workers
Cast
that are like
members.
yelling at us.
Yeah.
Like,
and like that
"Stop
moment was really
running."
rude. I feel like.
So I didn't. Okay.
I didn't hear.
I was in my moment.
she was leading the pack.
And I book it through Tomorrowland.
Yep.
I am sprinting. I'm not
And
even
you
running.
haven't
I'm
lived
full-on
until you've booked
sprinting.
it through Tomorrowland.
Seriously,
True.
dude. I like held my backpack as tight to me as possible so it wouldn't shake around and slow me down. And I just like booked it. And I don't hear anything. I only see the fireworks and I only see the.
She was a
Yep.
blur in the
It was a
distance.
blur. I was just booking it. But apparently other things are happening.
I got the tail end of that because I'm slow. I didn't see you guys running, so they book it. Autumn's already in the crowd, like of
Yeah, you
people
really
watching
kind of just
fireworks.
dove into it. You
I
were like,
saw
I'm
Autumn
getting my moment.
for this.
shoulders.
I saw her for a second, and then she was gone.
Yep.
And she was in the crowd,
The
and she was
elusive
gone.
Autumn.
And then Aislinn went, and then this lady starts yelling at us.
She was very aggressive.
She was
I'm
aggressive.
just
I
gonna
get it.
say.
That's your job. But like,
To not
that
be
was a
that you're
lot.
supposed to be
And she
magical.
was like,
That wasn't magical.
Yeah.
she was like, "You cannot be running." Aislinn gone.
She's looking at you, the person that's not
I know.
running.
Okay, but I like so Autumn had just gone by, and then I start to hear her,
Yeah.
and my reaction was just to go. I didn't hear that. And I feel like the biggest jerk.
tongue out at her?
No, thankfully I just went and I kept going. I felt like a jerk, and then I left you guys to deal with
So
it.
Aislinn goes. She yells again. Kiara keeps running because she's not about to get left behind. I'm slow. I'm running. I'm running as fast as I can, and it's still not enough.
Well, you're just kind of doing a light jog.
No, I was running. It might have looked like a late jog, but I was really
Well,
trying.
I think it took like probably 2.5 minutes for you to trickle in behind me.
Yeah. But so she's yelling at Kiara. Kiara keeps running, not even like a glance over the lady. And then I'm in the back, like I'm failing miserably. And she yells at me, and I have enough time to look her straight in the eyes and go, "Oh!" And then I just keep going because I didn't want to get left behind.
I feel like even if I had heard her and been able to process that was happening, I
man.
still would have been
You
running.
probably would have done what I did.
It's just funny that like I seriously have no memory of hearing that at all. Like she was definitely yelling at me too,
Yeah.
but my ear, I was just like, fire!
That was like seriously your face though. Like when you heard the first boom was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, and then it was
like,
beautiful. We were all singing the songs. And
Yeah.
Poor cast member lady. I'm so
I
sorry.
do feel really bad for her. And
She was worried about our safety.
Yeah.
With the puddles, but also
we're young. We
don't
would
kill
have
our
been
vibe,
fine.
bro.
We would have gone right back up.
Yeah.
We're sprightly that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
There
But
was too much adrenaline. Autumn, she would have just like rolled over to the fireworks.
I would have. But honestly, it's probably for the best that she works in Tomorrowland, because she probably couldn't handle the middle of Main Street firework crowd. Because I feel like people are always doing the stupidest things right there.
they really are.
Yeah. She wouldn't be. She's like, stop! Keep moving!
Okay,
gosh.
then I think
So I think our first Magic Kingdom day, that was our first Disney Park day. That was kind of like the least
Eventful.
dramatic.
Yeah.
Eventful.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it's pretty
in the
chill.
story.
Did we go on Splash Mountain?
Then we separated.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
in the story?
Oh, we did go. We did. And Sasha didn't want to go, and so but there wasn't enough room for all three of us.
Yes,
to, like,
oh my gosh.
but we
yeah,
decided we
yeah.
squished together.
That
and
was
it was
funny.
like,
Oh my gosh.
I
right.
was literally like on top of Aislinn and
Yeah,
Autumn's
dude,
lap.
So like you're like sitting on my lap pretty much, and so we go down, and I remember like afterwards you went, "Sorry, I did this." And you were like, I clenched. You were like, "Sorry, I clenched on your thigh," and like literally you look at the pictures, and Kiara's like, and like half on my leg, and we're all like.
You had to get a little bit of extra grit. You can't fly out of Splash Mountain.
Oh, that photo was hilarious. Not to mention how, like, you know when you walk by those photo things, right? And you're like too cheap, pointing at me, to pay for the photos. So you just like take a picture right there, and they always have a person watching it, and so they see you doing it, and they're like trying to block it, but you're also like, I'm just gonna get this, and it's like the most awkward thing ever because they can't blatantly say like. Well, they can, but they're nice enough to not to.
Yeah, they don't care.
They are
enough.
nice enough to not to.
Oh, I had somebody that was like,
It's so funny.
delete that photo.
Wait,
I've
you're
had that
kidding.
at Busch Gardens. At Busch Gardens,
Yeah.
they get really upset about it. At
Well,
Disney, they're
that's-
kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because
This is so
Disney's magical. Just
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
it.
Busch Gardens, they're like, give me your phone. Like, they just crack it in half.
They have like a special hammer. They just start beating it.
Like, this happens every time.
So then after this, we kind of like separated.
So at this point, me and Kiara went with my parents down to Clearwater, Florida, because my dad had to work. And then these two were still at Disney. What was your first day
Epcot?
without us?
Yeah, Epcot.
It was
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
So for that,
The bus
I
ride
have,
was awkward. I'm sorry for that.
I don't remember what happened on the bus ride.
Nothing.
That's why it was awkward.
sure?
Nothing happened.
Well, I was trying to find something to talk about because we were like still like missing them, and so like we were trying to find things to talk
Yeah,
about.
we had never really been alone before.
And I think that's when you and I both were like, oh crap.
Yeah,
Like we've
we were
never
like,
been
we have a
alone
whole
before.
weekend with just
Yeah,
the two of
and
us.
like now I'd totally be like, let's spend a week together.
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
No,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
You know, but back then we'd always been in a group. We'd always
Yeah.
been together, and so you guys left, right?
Yeah.
And then we get on the bus and we're like, so the weather today, like it was so bad.
Oh, no.
And then it was like good once we were there, but I remember
Yeah.
that bus ride. I was like,
I don't specifically remember the bus ride, but I do know what you're talking
Uh-huh,
about, because
and
I
I-
think that day was just like a little bit more silent than it.
do yeah. Well, and I felt bad too because like I was like, this is her graduation trip. She should have come with like her best friend, and instead she's got this like girl. It's like Sal, the weather.
Sorry to break it to you. You are.
Yeah.
But we had fun though. We really did. It was
Yeah,
just
it was
that
good.
moment of like, oh crap.
It's like,
So
Yeah.
for the Epcot day, I have harassing cop. Was that the
no,
Epcot
that
day?
wasn't Epcot.
No,
day.
that was Disney
I
Springs.
have drunk
Were
girl.
we harassing a cop or was the cop harassing us?
Bob was harassing
Yeah.
us. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay, yeah.
I have tropical storm.
Oh, that's what brought us together that day.
There we go.
That
Alright,
was what
take
saved
it
it.
away.
Oh, take it away? Oh, while she sips? Okay. So we went to Epcot, right? We're like, okay, doing our thing. And then, like, this tropical storm comes out of nowhere, and it gets super intense, like, so intense. So we're under the Epcot ball waiting for, like, it'd been, like, okay the whole day, like, weather-wise, but then it got really intense. So we're under the Epcot ball waiting to go into Spaceship Earth. And, what happened? Okay. And, wow, we've been at this for a while. Anyways, okay, I have to burp. Hold on.
Get
Oh.
that counter ready.
Oh, it's gone. Okay,
Oh,
anyways.
no.
Okay, so we're under the Epcot ball waiting to go into Spaceship Earth, and this tropical storm comes out of nowhere. It gets super intense, right? So we're in front of these like annoying squad of cheerleader girls, and I don't know
Always.
why were there so many that trip at Disney.
They're
Because
always
they were having
is.
like a competition or
That was
something.
yes,
Yeah.
it was
And they were all
competition.
like
They were standing
they were
in the
all
hotel,
like flipping
too.
their hair in
That
our
was the most
faces.
annoying
and,
thing
like,
ever was the girls. They were
Yeah.
so annoying, and I was like, I want to like. It was so annoying. Anyways, there was a group of them behind us, right? And so we were already like, oh my gosh, they're so annoying because like they just were super obnoxious. Like you can have fun at Disney and be like, oh my gosh, but they were just too annoying. That sounded like King Julian's little right hand man, and I'm sorry
You
for
can
that.
go to Epcot and
Maurice?
act like King Julian. That's totally normal.
But like, so they're standing behind us in the line, right? And this thing ramps up. Like the winds are getting really bad. The rain comes, and so we're perfectly under the ball.
I didn't mean to snap my watch. I'm sorry.
So Autumn and I are perfectly under the ball where no water comes in, right? So like, it's raining everywhere else, but like we're fine. The girls behind us are just enough out that it starts raining, and like the wind was like swooshing the water under the ball and dumping on them, and they were like
Yes.
flipping out. Like literally, this one girl was crying, and she's like, "My hair! I did this for like an hour and a half this morning," and like she's like a mess, and like this one girl was crying, her mascara was right. It was so funny, and
I
we
was
were
dying.
we were trying not to laugh at them
I
because
also
we
didn't
are
care about
nice
getting
people.
wet at all, but also I remembered the fact that, you know, Epcot is the Epcot ball is a circle made out of triangles. So the way that works is that the rain goes around it and it comes back down. So it's not just gonna go like
Gravity,
straight down
man!
from the side. It's gonna kind of carry a little bit to the bottom. So they kept like huddling under the Epcot ball, being like, "Oh, you'll be safe under here." Then they would just get dumped on by water, and we
And
were
we
like,
were dying, and then we started to get like a little bit of water, but nothing like them. And it was just so funny. We were so like that was a good moment. We were dying laughing, and like yeah, it just made the day. And then the trash cans went flying though, and that was
things
scary
like
though.
palm trees almost looked like they were gonna.
Yeah,
I have a video of
it
them.
got
I'll
really
put it
bad
in
for
here.
a minute.
Yeah, but it's like trash cans were getting moved, like things were just blowing by.
So bad.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember one of the trash cans tried to go flying while we were in the line for the Spaceship Earth, and then a cast member goes, "No!" and he like runs to the trash can and he's like on top of it, and I remember just laughing. Like it was such a chaotic few minutes. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
It
And then
was good.
strollers. Remember all the strollers, like just running away?
Yeah,
It was
because that's
crazy.
right next to that stroller parking thing. Yeah, that
It
was
was
pretty
crazy.
funny.
But yeah, so that was basically what happened there. That whole day though, like it would rain off and on. Like when we were in Land of
Oh, but okay.
Thing.
So I remember.
The land?
Yeah, that one. It was like hailing really bad as we went through like that outdoor indoor section.
Oh yeah.
And, like, we were like,
that was
oh.
so loud. I feel like I took a video of that too.
Yeah,
Because you're in like this greenhouse
it was
thing.
crazy.
And like we could almost not even hear the speaker because it was getting pelted with hail.
yep.
Yeah.
But we forgot something. So when we were in Magic Kingdom and we were saying there was a big like storm, but I remember so it like thundered and lightning like all at the same time. It was like the loudest thing ever. And Sasha
Oh.
darts.
I don't like storms.
That's right. Oh my gosh, yes. There was that one loud clap, and you ran into like that Mouseketeer, like whatever it was
I-
factory thing.
And we're like all three of us are just like walking like in the rain
Why
with
were
like
you so
everything above
chill?
us, and she just darts
was
it.
so
like,
funny. I
she
forgot
just
about
books
that.
it.
I
Like,
hate storms so much, and especially in Disney World. I don't know why, but I can't do
Yeah.
it. And as soon as that happened, I saw a building, and I was like, I'm going. I'm going, and no one can stop me.
Was that an Animal Kingdom?
no,
that's it.
because we
Magic.
had
That
a
was
storm in
Magic
Animal
Kingdom.
Kingdom too. But
That
this
one,
was that
I
was
can't wait to get
right.
into that because you and I had some
That's
fun
on there,
that
isn't
one.
it? The Animal
Yeah.
Kingdom.
Yeah.
Where were these two in that
Oh.
moment? Remember
I
the
think we
moment
got
I'm talking about?
separated.
Yeah, I know, but
I think I was trying to
Anyways.
calm Sasha down.
Yeah,
so
I
I
was-
stayed with her.
I'm not good with that. It freaks me
Yeah.
out very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did that a lot that week. Okay, another thing in Epcot was the drunk girl on Frozen.
Take it away, Autumn.
So we're making our rounds around the
so many drunk people.
showcase, around
It's
Epcot
Epcot,
showcase.
man.
So we're going through our
Epcot.
countries. We went to
Yeah, they love
Italy and we
drugs.
had lunch. Was it
That
dinner?
boy was flirting with that Italian boy. Liked you very much, my friend.
This is a trend with our Disney trip because I don't remember interacting with people at all. because I just don't remember those things.
Oh, it was
Except
so
Asen
funny.
will be like, oh yeah, there was a guy there that was totally checking you out. And I'm like, I don't remember that at all.
This is so stupid. Do you remember those Irish boys who were dancing?
Yes.
At Disney Springs.
I remember
Yes.
that.
Oh, I
Oh
also
my gosh,
lost my
the eye
backpack.
contact.
Oh,
I totally forgot
yeah.
about
Oh my
that.
gosh.
And it happened with
Bad.
every single one of us.
Uh-huh.
Like,
They
was,
fell in love with
literally
I
4 of
think
them.
that one guy had a special eye for Kiara. He was
It
like,
was,
that's the
yes.
love of my
Because
life.
Kiara was the one that was like
smiling
drawn.
while
Yeah,
doing
and then
his,
he like
German
turned up the
dance or
Irishness
whatever.
even
Or
more.
Irish.
He's like, here we
Imagine-
go. This is my woman.
Imagine someone Irish dancing while making direct eye contact with you.
It's like there's a
slightly
whole crowd.
terrifying.
There's a whole crowd, and we're trying to walk, and they're literally
So
keeping
we're
eye
not even
contact
we're not even
with
sitting
us.
there watching them.
No,
we're
we
just
really
going by.
weren't.
Yeah. We weren't even with like all the 100 people watching them. We
Yeah.
were just like walking by to get like ice cream or something.
But I remember me being me. I was like, oh, he's looking at Kiara. So I'm like, Kiara, come here. And like, I'm trying to like stand her right there just so like she can make more awkward eye contact.
And
I
I'm
was
like trying to
"Aw."
turn like away.
It was just so weird because he went down the line. I feel like that was the oldest one, right? Like the other ones
Yeah,
were a
he
lot
definitely
younger.
was a player.
And
Irish
I felt
dancing
creepy
jig.
even making eye contact with him because he was definitely way younger than me. So he like looks us in the eyes, each of
Yeah.
us, and then he
Yeah.
like lingers on Kiara.
Yeah.
That
just
was
like
hilarious.
is he smiling
He
and
chose. He was like this one.
staring at her
Jigging
while
or
doing
whatever.
his
He's
Irish
like doing
jig.
his Irish jig with like these super tight like shorts on.
Yeah.
He's like,
Staring
I shall
at
now
me.
be a bird of paradise that will
His mating dance.
my mating
Yeah.
dance.
And I'm just like trying to like
That was
not
great.
make eye contact, and Aislin's like pushing me towards it.
I was like, this is so funny. and I'm like,
Make this
oh my
funnier.
God.
Let's have this moment be even worse.
Okay,
Yeah.
the drunk girl on.
Yeah.
Oh right,
That
okay, I
was
was getting there. So we go to Italy and we each have something
Go
that
to
has.
Italy.
You know.
So we hop on a flight and we go to Italy. We walked from China to Italy. And we got like a giant piece of pizza, and you got like a meatball sub with a ton of Parmesan on it.
They're like most like.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. We
Yeah.
looked at ourselves and said, no dairy? Okay, let's go to Italy. And so
so funny.
we just like gorge on this Italian food. And it's getting like sort of later in the day, so an adult would have had an appropriate amount of time to try every alcoholic
for
beverage
sure.
in every country in Epcot.
Oh yeah.
So we go in Frozen, and it's a beautiful little ride. You know,
It's so cute and
it's so
quaint.
fun
It's
and
so adorable, magical.
it just is such a nice queue, and you are in the little like the
Wandering
little
Oaken's
wander-
trading post.
Yeah.
It
You
was
see him
amazing.
in a little sauna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That one was
Okay.
better.
And I guess she was in our boat, wasn't she? So
She
should
was
have
in
been
our
front
boat
of
and
us
she
in
was
line.
annoying the entire time.
Because I don't remember her being in front of us in line. Is the only thing. Like I only really noticed her when we were on the boat.
Maybe
That's
they had
true. I
fast
never even thought
passes.
about that.
Maybe they did have fast passes.
I think they did
Okay.
because they came from that way
From the
while
other
we
way.
were this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't. Nobody. Okay. Anyway.
They were being escorted from the side. So we ride Frozen, and there's this woman that's like, from the back, when somebody's acting weird, sometimes I try to give them like the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, maybe this person is just
Nervous about going backwards.
nervous about going backwards. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe they're just kind of a weirdo. Maybe there's something wrong with them.
Maybe they're just kind of a weirdo.
But she's just being overall just a little bit obnoxious. So then we get off the ride, and you're going down this little hallway to get to the exit, and this woman can't even stand up.
That was hilarious.
Like, she was bouncing back and forth, and her friends weren't even helping her.
No, that was like, those are some bad friends. And her
Yeah.
husband, did you see him just book it like in front
No.
of them? He wasn't even, he's like, I ain't even dealing with this. You guys gotta handle this.
She had one too many
Yeah.
margaritas.
But did you, yeah, like, remember when we got in the boat?
No.
You don't remember when we got in the boat?
Oh, she tried to.
Yeah.
She hopped the seats. I forgot about that.
She literally, so like, you know how they tell you, okay, get in this row and this row and blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
So it's automatized turn, right? And this chick was right in front of us. And she's in one row, and then she goes, no, I want to be in that row. And she climbs up in the middle of the boat, but it's like in the, you know, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not the sturdiest thing ever. So she's like climbing through the boat. There's people up there that she doesn't know in the row she's going to. And it's full. It's a full row. And
Oh,
so
yeah,
she's
she
like
tries to
climbing
lay
through-
on their
Yes!
laps.
And so she goes on this guy's lap, and he's like, no, ma'am. Like,
She's drunkenly stumbling
Yeah.
over all the rows in this
it
moving
was
boat.
horrible. And then the poor cast member girl, like in her large skirt, was trying to like climb in there and like get her to sit down, and like she's like, you know, is this your wife? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, can you please get her to, yeah. Anyway, so then we get on right after that, so we were already nervous, like, oh man, it's gonna ruin this because this
Yeah.
drunk lady's gonna. But she surprisingly was quiet during the ride. I feel like she was behind. Didn't she go
Was she
behind us or
behind us?
something? I don't know. Something happened. Yeah, I
Okay,
think she went
yeah.
behind us. But like she was surprisingly pretty quiet. She was annoying when we saw Elsa, though. You know Elsa's scene where she's singing Let
That's
It Go?
what it was. Yeah,
She was
I remember
being
her making
so
an
annoying.
outburst, but I don't think it was the whole
Yes.
time.
Yeah. But anyways, getting off, she totally ate it, and it was hilarious.
She did totally eat it, but like she never fully recovered. So she
She
like
really
completely just fell straight on her face, and then like kind of got up, and she was just stumbling from
still,
wall
it
to
was
wall,
bad.
like all the way down. And I just had a moment watching her, like that is gonna be me someday.
Yeah,
I'm so
and I will be a
excited.
friend that actually is there for you and will pick you up.
Dude, that's my plan. When I'm turning 21, I'm going to Epcot and I'm drinking a drink in every single country.
That's a good
And I'm
plan.
gonna need a lot of people
Yeah.
to be there.
We
to
can get you
support.
All
like
right,
one
guys,
of the
let's do
wheelchairs.
this.
and
Give me
just
a
like,
wheelchair,
this is
yeah.
for
I'm gonna
Sophie.
get a
Or
fanny
scooter.
pack, and it's gonna be a. Never mind.
That had the potential to be so good. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say it's gonna be my drunk fanny pack for you. It's gonna be like the first aid drunk fanny pack kit. That is a handful of words, my friend.
Some ibuprofen,
Yeah,
water.
it's gonna
There's
have
gotta be an
everything.
acronym
Some
for
little
that
mouth
name.
spritziness,
Oh, yeah.
a little bit of this and that.
Some sunglasses, you know.
Yeah, in case you pass out, we'll put you in the wheelchair with your sunglasses on. She'll be ready to
She's actually
party.
dead and you don't know.
We can burn you.
I'm wearing geriatric sunglasses in a wheelchair.
Someone get her a walker.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so that's all I have for Epcot.
Yeah.
So what happened to us the first?
Oh, and the Italian
Oh,
boy hit on her. It was
um,
really cute. Okay.
Banana
Apparently
boat,
that
probably.
happened.
Is that
Yeah,
the first
it
thing?
I feel like a lot of things happened in the same day.
Yeah. One day
I
was
loved
just
hearing
way
about
too
your
much.
guys' trip. That was
I
hilarious.
think the go-karting might have been first.
Yeah,
guys
I think
went
go-karting
go-karting?
was. Yeah,
So
so
go-karting. So I'll tell the first part about my own grandmother, and then you can tell the go-karting thing.
okay.
So, in Florida, we went to go visit my grandma, and she is very much a Karen.
No.
And so we went to a restaurant, and she made fun of the waitress.
I'm just gonna preface this by saying that she probably won't ever hear this.
Oh, no.
Mom, if you're listening, please don't send this to Graham.
I'm so sorry.
Busted.
Um,
Okay, so we're like at the restaurant. Your grandma's doing all these stuff, and I'm eating crabs. And I've never met her grandma before. This was the first time, and so I'm eating
so
my
sorry.
crab. I'm just eating my crab, and I tried to open it, and it was hard, and it like I was like trying to open it, and then it finally opens and squirts her grandma all down her shirt and all in her face.
Honestly.
And she gives me the deadliest look, and I was like, oh crap, I'm dead. And I'm just sitting there, and Sasha's like laughing, and like
I laughed because
So
I was
is
trying
she
to like.
mean?
I was trying.
Yeah.
A little bit. She would not refer to Kiara as Kiara. She said your friend. Like she
Yeah.
didn't even
I'm so
make an
sorry.
effort. I know. I'm
She's
really
a
sorry. I should
nasty
not have dragged you
person.
into that.
But so I'm like, oh god, oh my gosh, and then she looks over at your mom, and she's like, no, she looks over at you, and she goes, you know, your friend just splashed me with crab juice.
no!
And I was like, I'm so sorry, oh my gosh. Like, I'm saying, like, I'm sorry so many times, and she just, like, won't let it up and keeps looking me up and down. And I'm like,
She's
oh
a
my
fun
God.
time.
Yeah.
I immediately was like, I'm so sorry, Kiara. I should not have brought you here. Oh, this was a bad idea. So to make things better, because my grandmother wanted to spend the whole day with us, which is fine, we went go-karting. Because
Your
that was the
grandma went
only
go-karting?
thing- She wanted to, but she like I think had a cane at that point.
Mm-hmm.
She really wanted to. My mom had to be like, no, you're not going to do that. So we go ahead.
So we get there, and we're like getting all ready, and then they give us these like, what are they called? Like,
balaclavas.
yeah, that,
Baklava?
not that word.
They gave you
Close.
baklava to go
It's
kart.
straight up like, imagine someone robbing a bank. It's that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it's
pretty
a
much.
ski mask with just the eyes cut out.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
really fun.
So
COVID.
they give us
BC.
so they give us those, and we're like, we're not wearing these things. What the heck? And then they're like, you have to wear them. Blah 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 blah. And so we put them on, and then they give us these full-on helmets, like
They're,
that you have to wear
they're
for
like
like
motorcycle
motorcycles.
Stunt helmet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty
Wow.
much. So we like put them on, and
I
they're
would've
like
felt bust.
almost toppling us over. They're
Yeah.
so heavy. And so we get to the track thing, and the guy's like, because they're gas, right? They were gas
Yeah.
ones. So we like get to he puts us there, and he goes, okay, since you guys are younger, I'm gonna put you on a lower speed,
Excuse
and
me?
then
I know.
I'll work you up. But he's a guy. So.
Also, when he walked up,
Sexist.
he gave us the
I didn't know that they
balaclavas.
could control the speed.
I didn't
I
know.
don't
Sorry.
know.
So speed.
Weed.
I can control the spots.
The
Obviously
guy,
don't know a lot of things.
the guy gave us the balaclavas, and then he walked away. And my grandmother goes, "Oh, he's cute." And I was like, "Oh."
Wait, what? How
Was
old is
he?
this man?
Oh, he was maybe in his 20s.
Oh.
Anyway, I never wanted to hear my grandmother say that.
Right?
So that's all I was thinking
Was he
about the
actually
entire
cute?
time. He was blonde.
Is that cute?
Maybe
So
to
no.
some. He was
What's
just
your
like
type?
that was the only
Type.
attribute that I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that helps.
And
Yeah.
so we like get on
We know
our
he was
first thing, and
sexist.
I like start out when I'm
not
driving them. I'm very don't like going fast that much.
Oh, okay.
So I'm very because I don't drive yet.
Cautious.
You're not a speed
So-
demon yet.
Yeah.
Yet
So I
is
get
the
there and I'm
keyword.
starting off going slow, and Sasha just books it. She
I do.
just
I have
comes
no-
and goes as fast
I have
as
no
she
regard
can.
for my life.
Yeah, so we like
regrets.
start going
No
around, and
regrets.
she's like 3 laps in front of me already, and so she finally gets back and she beats me. And by that point, I've started to get like 'cause it takes me a little bit to work myself
Yeah.
up to the speed.
She got mad.
You're
'cause
like
I beat
using
her.
your turn.
Yeah, I got mad because she
On a
beat me.
go-kart track.
You're doing like bike signals. You're like,
checking her mirrors.
So we get there and she's like, "Ha, I beat you in your face." And so then the guy like he goes, "Okay, you guys did pretty good on that one. I'll work your speed up a little bit." So he puts her speed up, and that time I just hit the gas.
Nice.
And I like went.
I
and
swear I saw you drift at one point.
Oh my gosh, awesome! So we're like going, and she's in front of me, and then we get to like almost the last lap, I think. And so the guy had told us don't press the brakes on a turn because it will make you drift. And so I
Don't
just
press the
decided.
brakes on a turn.
Yeah.
So
I
you just
don't
told you to gun it on all the turns?
Yeah.
You just have
And
to
then
take off the
you'll-
gas and then you slow down a little.
Oh, okay.
So I, instead of
You've driven
doing
a car
that, I was
before.
like going full speed and I pressed the brakes and I totally drift.
Nice.
And I look at Sasha turns her head and sees me drift.
I swear. Okay, it was out of a movie. I felt like I was in Fast and Furious because I was sitting like on the right of the track. This girl drifts around me.
I get in front of her.
in front of me and wins.
And
Oh
I
my
won.
God.
And that was like, I like just
Wow.
won that one. And he goes, "Okay, she won."
Man, I wish we could have a play-by-play of this. I want like
It was
the...
truly beautiful.
I really wish I could have seen this.
It was amazing.
Meanwhile, you and
Not
I
gonna
stopped
lie.
releasing at Epcot.
Yeah.
But so then we get to our last
Gosh,
lap,
too.
and our last round. And so we start going, and we're like neck and neck the whole time. And then towards the end, Sasha thought it was the last lap, and
Yeah.
so she like goes to
no.
stop, and the guy says, one more lap, and I get in front of
He
her.
literally he stuck his hand up like he was asking us to stop, and
Oh.
then he put his finger up, and then he like did a circle motion.
Yeah.
May I just say, you have really beautiful hands.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously, they're
Gross.
so perfect.
For the listeners, Sasha has very beautiful hands.
Seriously though, I
cannot
don't think you
describe
guys
them to
understand
you.
how like perfect they are.
They're like hands, but so much better.
Her like nails look like they're acrylics, but they're not even acrylics. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, everyone was on the edge of their seats.
But so
Thank
I
you.
get like in front of her, and so then we go run the last lap, and I beat her. And so
Wow.
we get inside, and Sasha's like, "There's no way you beat me on that. That was no, that was
I was
no."
so bad.
Sasha's gonna do
She
a valley
was
girl.
like so mad, and like she wouldn't even talk to me. Like,
For a little bit. I'm very sorry.
yeah, so she was not talking to me because she's competitive.
I am. I'm a little weak when it comes to
so
things
we
like
go
that.
inside, and she's still set that she won that race. And so then we
does
get to
blonde
the
boy
people,
say?
and they were like, "Okay, so the first round, Sasha, you won.
Oh, okay.
Second round, Kiara, and third round, Kiara." And Sasha like grabs the paper and shucks it on me.
I did not.
But they were about to.
I was. They gave us. I was so mad, and I was like, "There's no way." They gave us printed out, like directly who won each round,
Oh.
and I just had to sit there. And the whole time on the
It
car
just
ride
says
back,
loser on
I know.
the top
On
of
the
it.
whole time the car ride back, Kiara just like showed me her paper. I was just like so proud of herself.
Evil smile next to it, like.
Oh my
You did a great job. I was just not having it.
Meanwhile, my grandmother's over there getting the number.
And we're
Yeah.
like, me and her, we're not even talking to each other. We're texting back and forth.
we were fighting
We
over
were
that text.
fighting talking over text messages, but they, Autumn and Aislinn, were in the group chat, and so their phones were going off.
Sense now. Remember how confused? I remember we were sitting eating Italian food and we're like, what is happening?
I think
Oh my
they
gosh,
explained it once
dude.
they got back.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember this now, but
Oh
like,
my gosh,
that
that's
was so
hilarious.
funny.
Now knowing everything, it makes so much
They
more
thought we
sense.
were
Yeah.
at each
Dude.
other's necks, and we were,
I was
but
kind of worried.
quietly.
Not gonna lie.
I was, yeah. Well, we were just like minding our own business in Epcot, and all of a sudden in a group chat, they're just like, "Tell Kiara that I don't want to talk to her anymore." I'm like, well, tell Sasha that I don't want to.
I was definitely being way too much, and I apologize, but once we got in that car, you let off too. You were so,
I was like roasting her
Yeah.
so bad though.
that was beautiful.
I remember
I
it was
thought
really
I went too far, and
entertaining,
then you
and then,
kept going.
yeah,
I
it
was
got
like,
concerning, and we just stopped looking at it. We were like, "They'll be
Like
fine."
Aislinn, Autumn like texted like, "Can you guys just stop?" Aislinn had to turn off her phone.
Dude.
I remember I turned off the notifications for it.
And then,
'cause I was
and then
dude.
then Sasha was like, she was like, "This is not. You're not part of this, Ben."
Yeah, you can.
I just realized that we still have that group chat, and I can probably find
Oh,
it.
find
Oh,
it.
that is
Man.
hilarious.
Go ahead.
So, I started out by saying, so we did go-karts and I won 2 and Sasha only won 1. So I'm better than she is, and I do like a bunch of face
and
emojis
then
and
in
stuff.
all caps, I go, "Excuse me, you only won by 0.5 seconds."
And then I said, "That's right, I won," with like 10 million exclamation marks.
You cut me off, you turd.
We weren't even in.
That's what you do.
What time of day was
He
this, by
waved
the
the
way?
checkered flag. It was 2:34.
Yeah.
Okay.
He waved the checkered flag. It was over, and I'm fine.
I said, that means one more lap, not stop. You lost.
No, crap off.
I said, nope, I won.
And then she sent the pictures of the thing that said that she won.
right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I sent the pictures and I said, "Look at this, I won. Even the place thought I did so." Ha!
Have we even texted back at this point?
No,
No, not yet.
And I said,
Probably like I feel like at some point we were in like the Nemo thing or something where we didn't have
Yeah.
reception, and then
Yeah,
all of a
yeah,
sudden
yeah.
we just saw all
It
of
all-
us at once.
Blew up.
she actually did win by like 0.5 seconds. It,
was
no
doesn't
joke.
matter.
Wow.
She still
Really,
won.
yeah.
But then I was like, "Drop it, car. I will win this battle."
And I said, "You won 1. You drop it. We all know who is the
You win
leader.
the battle, but
I
not the
won
war."
this battle."
What now, Kara? Do you want to be left in Florida?
I said, "Try. You couldn't do it."
We have all your money.
We're like, oh dear God. Did we chime in after that text?
No. And then I said, "Your mom, not you."
I said, "Yeah, my mom will agree."
Nope. She saw the scores.
This is an ultimatum situation at this
She
point.
wasn't. No, she didn't. She was too busy arguing with Karen.
And so then this is when Autumn comes in and says, "You guys are very annoying." Aislinn had to mute her phone.
This is not the end of our argument. We didn't stop.
Yeah.
So I went, "This does not concern you, Autumn. If I'm going down, I'm bringing all of you with me."
And I said, "I don't think so." Okay, I'm done arguing. I don't have any more comebacks.
See, I won.
This is it.
Yeah, that was
Nice.
it.
Wow.
I didn't even respond.
like I am staying out
You
of
were
this.
so done.
I just had to reply on your behalf. Aislinn muted her phone.
Please stop. It doesn't matter. We were very
was so
heated.
funny.
Another thing that happened before
Oh,
the next day.
I love this story.
We're done with the go-karting. That was it. I was mad and Kiara rightfully won. But I won the argument. So
Yeah.
I think
So
that's
who
what
really won?
Yeah, that's what really matters. But for that day, speaking of the crab thing, for that day, the next day, and the next day, all that me and Kiara consumed was crab and ice cream.
That doesn't sound that bad to me, honestly.
It was delicious.
Yeah, but in
Like,
Florida, it was literally like we would have
it was the
ice
best
cream
crab.
for breakfast, and then crab for lunch, and then crab
Right,
for
'cause
dinner,
you're
and then
in
ice cream.
for dessert.
Yeah.
I forgot that Clearwater Hotel like is part of this little cute little street with all these shops and stuff, but right under the hotel is an ice cream
Yeah.
shop, right?
It was
So
so
you can literally
easy.
go down like in your pajamas
Wow.
and get ice cream.
It got to the point where my parents were concerned for our health.
Mhm.
It was just for 3 days straight. It was
We
only
ate crab and ice cream.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
What a combination.
And then we had to try, was it
Crab ice cream.
alligator?
Yeah, we had
We
alligator.
had alligator. It was disgusting.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't
gross.
like it. I thought you liked it. Did you like it?
I don't remember. If I'm
Okay,
being
yeah, I
honest.
hated it.
I do
so.
remember. Nice.
But then after that, what happened after that?
The boat?
Gosh, yeah, the banana boat.
I think they have one more Disney day, and then
We
we can
do.
talk about the banana
Oh,
boat.
Where
because
Did we go to
yeah.
Hollywood Studios?
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
did.
so
Oh,
the
you went
rock
to
and roller
Disney
coaster.
Springs too. Oh,
Talk
yeah.
about that one.
Rock and roller coaster. I think that the character thing is actually before that. Yeah, because it looks like I have Epcot stuff, and then I have us at the Polynesian,
Yeah.
which I don't really know how funny that story is, but there is a funny story about the check-in lady. Because so we go for a reservation, and this is the first time that I've been
Yeah.
on a trip without parents, like much less like making dinner reservations and,
And I
stuff.
don't know why, but I was just like, oh yes, Autumn will take care of this.
My husband
I don't know
will
why.
do this.
I was the pants in the
Seriously, though.
relationship.
So, like, and I felt bad too because she's on a graduation trip. Looking back, I'm like, wow, you just let her do everything. But I really was like, oh yes, Autumn will check us in, even though I made the reservation.
No, it was fine. It was. Well, it would have been fine if I wasn't completely socially
I am
Deficient?
too. It's
deficient.
okay.
So we wait in this line to check in. I go up to the lady and she says, time of reservation. And I'm thinking, time of your reservation? What time is it? Time for your reservation?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. And she says,
That's right.
time for reservation? And I say, yes. And then she says it again, no, time for your reservation? And I said, yes. It's time. It is time. And it took like 3 or 4 times before you, like, for some reason, she should have just phrased her question differently.
Yeah, and then she like looked over at me, right? And then she's like, time of your, like she went to me next.
And then you had to explain the question to me because I'm so stupid.
The stupid thing is that I didn't answer her question directly. I just explained what she was saying to you so that you could answer her.
Aww.
And I'm like, dude, this is so stupid.
I was so frustrated because I couldn't understand what this woman was
Yeah.
saying, and she was getting really frustrated.
She
She was
was.
kind of getting mad.
There's a
and-
reason she works at the Polynesian Resort.
Yeah,
Instead
right.
of like, sorry.
So I have to get out the app, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's 9:15 or whatever.
And then I told her the time it was right then. I
Yeah,
didn't think about
yeah. It was
giving her
just
the
this
time of our
whole-
reservation. You were like, oh, what time is it? I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's not what she wanted. Anyways.
Like she was just asking us for the time.
What time is it?
Oh my
Poor
gosh.
woman.
So she finally checks us in, and so she tells us that we can go sit in this little place to wait for the reservation. So we go and we sit, and then it's actually time for our reservation now. So we're supposed to get up and go back to her, and then she's going to take us to our table. So we get up and we get back in line, and then we go up to her again, and the same situation happens again.
So
like
funny.
she says, time for your reservation, and I'm thinking,
Yes.
because we had just sat there and she was saying it's now time for your reservation. I say yes again. So we have the
God.
same interaction of her
so
saying time
funny.
for your reservation, and I say yes. And she
Yes.
says time of your reservation, and I say, oh my god, I'm an idiot. And then we get seated, and we had a really
And it was-
expensive breakfast.
Okay, I felt so bad because like growing up, like I'd go to Disney World all the time. Mom and Daddy pay for everything, and so I don't know prices, and so I take Autumn like, this will be great. We'll eat out. It'll be fantastic, and it wasn't covered by like the dining. I don't know. We
Yeah.
weren't on the dining plan.
No,
was
we
the
didn't
thing.
do it.
And like I grew up going on the dining plan, so everything like it all equaled out and it was totally fine.
Yeah.
It was so expensive. It was $40 a person.
And I remember I
It was
actually
80
looked it
bucks
up because we had
altogether.
talked about that, like, should we get the dining
Yeah.
plan or something? And I looked it up, and I remember seeing that it was $40. So I was like, oh, it's $40. You know, we'll split it 20/20. That's
what I
not bad.
thought.
So we eat, and it's incredible. It's so much food. But
It
the
was
thing
really
is,
good.
It's family style, so they bring out one big platter, which further should mean that it's only $40 because it's one
Yeah.
thing.
And the funny thing was that we had a tiny table, so none
Yeah.
of the food would fit. Like it was just
Yeah.
like we got like this table that wasn't even out like looking at anything pretty. It's just like
in the hallway.
yeah, like in the hallway, and then like food everywhere that doesn't fit on the table. It was funny.
Yeah. And we were trying to avoid the character
We
interactions.
really
'cause
didn't want to.
That's not what we were there for. I was there for the food, not for Mickey Mouse. So we have some really awkward pictures.
So like
with-
I remember like Autumn was sitting in front of me, right, and just like staring into Autumn's eyes as she eats her monkey bread. And
What a sentence.
and Mickey Mouse is like walking up behind her, and like he's like going around the tables, like
Mm-hmm.
you know, taking pictures with people, and then he makes eye contact with me. And Autumn and I already talked about how we did not want to
We were
talk.
trying to make it seem like we didn't
Yeah.
want to, too. We were
So,
like kind of hunched over
remember
talking.
how
and-
we're like, let's have really intense conversation,
Yeah.
eye contact, we won't do it. So I remember we were just looking at each other like, so how's your day going?
Yeah.
But it was like super intense, and he still comes over. He sneaks up on you. He did
Yeah.
a sneak attack on Autumn. He literally puts his hands on her shoulders, and then
Oh my god.
that was creepy.
Ew.
And she almost like punched him. It was great. She literally went like this, but not. Well, they don't know what we're talking
She
about.
raised her arm.
She like
very-
raised her arm like she was going to pop this sucker. and then it was Mickey Mouse.
Well, that's kind of a. I mean, if anybody's listening
dude.
that is a character actor,
Please don't
come
do
up behind
that.
somebody and just put your hands on their shoulders. That's so
Creepy,
creepy.
man.
It wasn't even like
Teenage
tap
girls.
tap tap. It was like a hand on each
It
shoulder.
was so gross. But like, and I didn't give her any warning either because I was just in shock of this whole thing happening. I'm like, oh dear God, Mickey, no. And so it was bad.
Yeah, it was
bad.
a little weird.
So then like he took a picture with her, and then like remember how he tried to hug me, but I didn't know what he was doing. So like I went for his armpit, and I like put my hand in his armpit like, oh. It was so bad. Oh, it was
Oh
so
my
bad.
gosh. So we have those weird character
Yeah.
things, but we're like, you know what? This food was incredible. It was still a good breakfast.
And then we get the check.
And then we each get a check for $45.
That was confusing.
And we were like,
We thought it was $40 for the whole thing, and we were like, "That's reasonable because that only means $20, like
Yeah.
for each of us." And then we got 45, and I
That
felt
means it was
horrible.
$90 total.
And then we had to
like,
do a tip.
And then we
And
had
you
to
know
do a
what's
tip.
funny is that was the most expensive day of us eating, and it was
Yeah.
from one meal.
It was from, yeah.
It was ridiculous. Anyways, we weren't too happy about that. I felt so bad too
Like
because I was
$90
like,
for one skillet of food. Like, it was a lot of food, but
Yeah.
like, that doesn't.
the Mickey waffles were good, but
Yeah.
I mean, how many Mickey waffles is worth $95?
Yeah,
That's the real
seriously.
question. Anyways, it was crazy.
It's
So-
like $100 breakfast.
Yeah, it was bad.
Nice.
Thank
I
you.
think the next day I have for you guys is Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
Right.
So not too much eventful happened that day.
I have a lot.
Oh, actually, no, a lot of eventful things happened. I just was blacked out for most of it.
True.
So I have Indiana Jones stunt guys.
Oh, okay,
which
he was cool.
I
And
You
I
wanna
just
talk
did the
about that
Debbie
first?
Ryan
Is that, like,
awkward
the thing that we did, do you think?
It was like
One
halfway
of
through the
those
day.
eventful
Oh, and we
things.
met your friend too.
Yes. Okay. So, I have a friend that lives near Orlando, and
What
we
up?
were-
Shout out to.
I don't
Let's
want
not
to
say her name.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to my person that lives near
She
Orlando.
didn't like me, and I felt so bad.
No, it's all right. It was a little bit weird because I'm already
The
like
dynamic.
I'm one of those people that I only really open up if I know someone or like I've been around them for a long time.
Mhm.
Similar to the Epcot thing. The first day was just
Yep.
a little bit stiff, but then we got used to it.
We
and
did.
You know, we became
It
closer and
was
closer.
great.
Yeah, and so I knew this girl when I was like 8 or 9, and I was close with her. And so then
Okay.
this was like one of the only other times that I've seen her
Yeah.
since then.
Yeah.
So it was just a little bit weird, and like we had a hard time figuring out where to meet up and stuff. She was just coming to see us, so she split away from her group and she met up with us, and we went to the Indiana Jones.
She didn't even
show.
technically meet me, so I had to be the one to go, "Hey, what's up? My name's Ace." And like you could tell she's like, "I'm sorry, who are you?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "I'm here with Autumn." And it was like, "Okay." And then like I had to like yeah, it was so funny, but it was she was nice though. Like I don't think she understood I was there. Like she was like, "What do you do?" You know? And so
Yeah.
it was funny, but
It was just it was an interesting dynamic, but I think it was just like if I had just been with her, I could have focused all of my social energy on trying to remember how to talk to people. But like I had been with you for so long, and I had been like used to like how we hang out.
This.
So then like then introducing another like person
Oh,
in there
it's
where
so
I don't really
funny.
remember how to talk to
So
her,
funny.
and it was
I remember at one
interesting.
point while she was in the bathroom, Autumn was kind of like, "I'm sorry," you know, like all this stuff. And I just said to her, "I'm like, give her all your attention. I will just walk behind you, okay?" And she
Yeah.
was like, "Okay." And so literally, I remember I just walked behind them, like, "I'm having the time of my life." Like I was like taking photos and videos, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" Like all this stuff. I just was like, "Oh, this is great." But it was.
You were so sweet. You were like one of the only people that will actually
no.
understand
It
that
wasn't at all.
situation.
No, I was like, dude, I would have done the same thing if like my friend showed up and like it was awkward. I'd be like, "What do we do here?" Yeah, but it
Yeah.
went good though. We went to Indiana Jones stunt show with her.
I did, and I hadn't seen that since I was little. Like
That
it
show
was.
is
You're welcome,
fantastic.
It's
Autumn.
phenomenal. It's so good.
Yeah, there's
Oh my
more than one
God.
reason why it's a great show.
First of all, it's just a great show. Second of
really
all,
is.
it's a great
it was
show.
great. I don't remember it being that great in a while. Maybe because
plot
last time when
was
I was
so
10
good.
years old.
Yeah.
That might be why. But it was great.
Because I was
Kiara's giving this look
prepubescent
like,
before
what
then.
are you
You'll
doing?
see. Just let
What
him
is
get
that?
to
What's
it.
that joke, Sasha? That was like I watched it for the.
The plot.
I watched it for the plot, but also I
was
watched it for the
so
plot.
good.
So it's a
Yeah.
stunt show where they have Indiana Jones, and they're doing stunts.
And they're
And then doing stunts.
And then they have
Like-
Marion, is that her name? Doing stunts?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's awesome. That girl's
Oh,
super
she's cool, yeah.
I've met her before and she's such a sweetheart. If it's the
Aw.
same girl, she's been doing it for like 12 years, but
I
she's
think so.
the coolest. She's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So then they have like some audience participation parts, and then they have this whole section where there's like these acrobatic stunt performers.
Oh my.
And my God.
And seeing this
my
for the first time since I was like 10, suddenly just jumping into this world of
It was awesome.
stunt performers. Dude, they were so attractive.
They're insanely cute.
Okay, so this is the funny thing is that like they're really attractive, right?
Yeah.
And so like I remember like you and your friend you guys were like, I guess we'll go, but like I really wanted to go, and we got there and like you guys didn't understand why I wanted to go so bad, and then it started and like you looked over at me like and I remember it was Autumn, and then it was your friend, and then it was me. And
Right, so I don't know how that happened, because you would have thought in a situation where one person is the only one that knows both of the people, you would have thought that I'd be the one that sits in the middle.
but I'm like, all right, bet, let's get to know each other.
Somehow she ends up being the one that's I think like we start walking into this row.
Yeah,
And,
I don't think we thought.
Yeah, I think I was like trying to let her through, and she just sits down.
Yep.
So then I have to sit on the other side of her, and then you have to sit on the other side of her.
Yeah. So I remember it's like halfway through the show, right? And so Autumn and I, we literally lean behind the girl and look over and be like, yeah, like that, look at that, like all this stuff, right? So then
Yeah.
at one point, I just lean over to the girl and I say, look at how cutie that one is. And she looks at me and she goes, ew. And I was like, oh. I was like, sorry. And I said, sorry. And like, I just like leaned back.
sorry.
And then I like leaned back more and I looked at you and I said,
Meanwhile, I'm just like, oh, he's so fine.
Anyways, so then we went on Rock and Roller Coaster, and I was iffy from the beginning of that because I'm terrified of roller coasters. I will go. I will do anything you guys want me. Like I'll go.
But all the roller coasters we had went on prior to this, she was screaming at the top
Okay.
of her lungs. Like
Yeah,
the
that's
highest
so
pitch
true.
scream
And that's like
ever.
Space Mountain, like not the most
Space Mountain.
intense.
There's that stupid tune that goes wow wow wow
That
wow.
freaks me
That
out
thing
every
is
single
freaky.
time.
And I remember when you're going around it, and literally every time we would get close, I'd go. Ah! Oh, that's
No, but
we're
it's so
outside, and
funny
that's
because it
late.
was
But
Aislinn
still.
and Sasha were screaming. Like you,
Yes, that's
like I
true.
would
I
not
hate
expect
that.
Sasha to do
I
it.
don't like
And
that
it's just that
line.
noise. That noise,
Yeah.
I literally
Yeah.
have to bend
That is
down
the
and cover my
creepiest
ears.
noise.
Me
ever.
and
We were just laughing.
We were laughing
were dying.
so hard.
It's something about that. I just feel like a weird
That was
crawl up my
creepy.
back. I'm like,
And it like gets
"Ugh."
so close to you.
Yeah.
It was so gross. Anyways, so I don't love roller coasters, but I'll do it.
And Rock and Roller Coaster is probably the most intense one.
It is for
At
sure.
Disney.
And I was like, I'm down. I grew up doing that one with Dad, so I was like, yeah, I'll do it with you. But I didn't realize how anxious and nervous I was leading up to it. I was really nervous. So Autumn and I get like locked in, and like I
It's
was.
a full-on harness situation.
Yeah, it's a harness, and so you're like, okay, I'm in, I'm strapped in. There's we gotta go. And then you know how it counts you down, and it's like, let's get ready to run.
Yeah, then you have to sit there in your harness, and you know that it's about to go 0 to
Yeah.
50, and you're just staring
Yeah.
at the screen.
Yeah.
That's like, let's do this, Jen.
The music's amazing. Aerosmith is incredible. I love them.
Yeah.
But now the song "Sweet Emotion" has been forever tainted by that moment.
I remember. Well, you obviously don't remember this. I
No,
remember
take it
saying
away,
this is my favorite Aerosmith song. Like while we were, and you didn't say anything. So
That's fine.
Aislinn's like nervous, and I'm used to her absolutely screaming when we go on all the roller coasters.
Yeah, that's
So
normal.
you're nervous. And then we go, and it takes off, and I'm like,
You
like
were
laughing.
You know what's
and having a
annoying
great
is that
time.
Autumn does this really cute little giggle. Like we're in the middle of like a death situation, and she's just going, "Wee! Oh my god, fun!" And I'm like, she's so adorable right now. And like her hair was like blowing perfectly, and she just looked super cute, right? Like her little emoji thingy on the Banter Babes podcast.
Yay.
Link below.
Our own podcast that you're listening to right now. Links below.
But, like,
Just in case you missed it.
and then there's me, and Autumn. What was I doing?
So you're completely silent, and I don't think to look over at you because the ride isn't that long, and it's completely in the dark.
Also, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to look that way.
It is, yeah. You're like
You're in the
you got a lot
middle of,
G's
you know.
going on. So she's like completely silent, which I thought was definitely odd. And so we get through all the loops and everything, and I'm having a great time listening to my favorite Aerosmith song. And then we pull into the final stretch, and then I remember you like
I went, oh god!
Yeah, then you like
I, like,
suddenly start
Yeah,
talking.
and then I went, oh god, and then I started screaming my head off.
Yeah, so the worst of it is completely over, and like we're kind of pulling into the end, and then all of a sudden you're like, what? So I think and I remember as soon as we pulled in, you were like, that was really short. Like you said something like that wasn't very long, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, she was so quiet. I think you passed out.
And then I remember you were like, did you pass out? And I was like, I'm not sure. And then we look at the photos, and it's pretty obvious. I blacked out so bad.
It's in that group chat. It's
Like literally, I think that's the worst photo of me ever. I literally am I'm gone. Like,
gosh.
I don't remember. I literally just remember taking off. I remember the beginning of Sweet Emotion, like, sweet. And then I just remember nothing. And I remember a cute autumn giggle as I'm waking up. And I wake up, and I'm like, oh, God! And we're, like, still going. And then we stop, and I'm like, that happened. It was...
like, that was the quickest Aerosmith song I've ever heard.
But it's funny because I forgot, like, today I was on my way to work, and I had that song playing because I love Aerosmith, and I always have their music playing. And I got so anxious, and I didn't know why. And I'm like on my way to work, like
heart is racing.
It was so weird. I've never like blacked out before, and I remember just coming back, and I'm like, wow, that was funky. I don't remember anything. Like that was short. And then you're like, I think you passed out. You were so nice after though. You're like, do you need water or like a lemonade? And I was like, I need ice cream. So I just got ice cream.
Oh yeah, then we went and got ice cream. I forgot about that.
We did.
Was that
so
the
funny.
harassing cop day?
No, that was
Disney
the Disney
Springs.
Oh, and then
Springs
we
day.
had our
Oh.
banana boat moment.
Should we tell the banana boat and then
Do it, yeah, let's
Yeah,
bounce
yeah.
back over to Clearwater.
Our
we
banana
traveled
boat.
back to Clearwater in the year 2019. We're in Clearwater, Florida. So there's not a lot to do at this place other
Except
than
eat
eat
ice
crab
cream
and
and
ice
crab.
cream. And my dad was working, and there's this place, like the hotel is right on the beach. And you
That's
look
cool.
down, and there's this little shack, and you can rent like jet skis, you can rent kayaks, and you can rent banana boats. If you don't know what banana boats are,
Look it up right
look it
now.
up.
I need to look up what a banana
It's
boat is.
literally, it looks like two bananas with a little bit of plastic connecting them, and it's supposed to be a boat.
And there's like a little handle thing.
Yeah,
When you
there's
say
not
plastic, my brain thinks like plastic wrap, like they're just kind of
Yeah,
taped together.
basically. And there's handles all down the banana.
Wow, they
so that you
really
can
look like
hold down.
bananas.
They do.
And there's not even a spot for you to like sit like
Is that what
You're
guys?
just straddling the banana.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like that.
So we wanted to do something fun. So we went down to that little shack, and there's like two
Little
teenagers working,
Mm-hmm.
and they sign you up.
And they make you like sign all these forms.
Waivers.
Really?
Yeah.
For
Just
like
in case
your
you die
life.
on a banana boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we
Just
almost
like
did.
so.
We almost did. Just get ready for it.
Quite a way to go.
So they give you these huge life jackets. Like, yeah, I get you're supposed to wear life jackets, but they are giant.
Wow.
And then they give us wrestling helmets.
Yeah,
like
wrestling
no-showed
helmets.
wrestling helmets.
no.
Why do you need a helmet? You're gonna fall into water.
Mm.
Anyway,
And we live at the beach,
I
so
know.
we're like,
I know this. I know how to
the heck?
swim.
We know how to
this
swim.
works, you know. And then of course my mother had to take a picture of us. I hope that she still has that. So there's this teenage dude driving a jet ski who is pulling this banana boat.
I wouldn't
Is it
trust
just
that
you two
boy.
on the banana
Yeah,
boat?
Yeah, it's
only
just
us.
us two.
It's one of those banana boats. There's two bananas.
and
on
they
it.
should hold like 20 people.
They should
like,
hold.
no joke.
This is so chaotic. There's two
This is such
bananas.
a funny image.
It's truly
Each of you want a banana.
With a wrestler helmet.
Okay,
we
we get into the water and we get onto them, and he pulls out a little bit, and then he turns around and he goes, "Okay, do you guys want to go slow or fast?" And me and Sasha look at each other like, "Fast,
Like he
obviously."
already drifted in a go-kart. Like we can go fast. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Speed,
so-
I think I can handle
And
it.
so
I am
he
speed.
hits it like he just
Nice.
I didn't know a jet ski could go that fast.
Yeah,
I was
and so we
scared.
start like bumping, like you know when you
Oh.
like go fast on water, and you like go up
Yeah.
and down and
Yeah.
up and down, and so we're doing it, and but he
On
kind of starts
bananas.
off a little bit slow, and then
Yeah.
he starts working towards
The
it.
problem
Smart.
was when that man turned,
Oh.
we got sent.
Oh,
Like the entire banana boat tilted.
It's funny if
drifted.
you say banana, not even boat. The entire
The entire banana
shifted.
It just drifted,
So
man.
and we're like, so the handles are like plastic, and you know
And then-
water and plastic just makes it slippery, and like there's not even enough room to put both hands onto
The
it.
banana.
Like, no
Yeah,
joke.
one hand.
You're not completely hugging the banana.
It was too big.
Oh.
stop talking. Continue, Cara.
And so we're riding, and we're like about to like die, and I just see Sasha just like fly backwards.
I was holding on for dear life, and I felt like
So she's riding like what are those like
the mechanical bulls.
Yes, she's riding.
One hand on the handle,
And one's flying.
and one's flying off. Half of my body is off of the banana.
And then she flies off, and then I'm laughing so hard I fly off.
It dragged me. It dragged me for like a solid 30 seconds. I'm just like on the side of it.
Slow down. You're being dragged.
The thing is, we were screaming the whole time because it was so fast. So when I was screaming for my life, he couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah. So
You both fly off?
Yes.
yeah, so we both fly off of it, and then we can't get back onto the boat.
Wait, did he stop and come back for you?
He did.
Yeah, he stopped and came back around. And
Does
was,
that
like,
happen
laughing at us.
normally?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's meant for, to like throw you off, and isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, but so we're like trying to get on, and we can't get onto the boat.
You have nothing to step onto.
Yeah, and
You're
so
in water.
we're trying
banana,
to like
it's
pull
hard.
ourselves onto it, and we can't pull ourselves on.
Did he have to give you a little booty boost?
No, we got it eventually.
He like gives, like he's like, here, take my hand. And, like,
His Fabio hair is whipping in
Yeah.
my ribs.
But Kiara got in first, and I remember not only
And then
my
I like tried to pull you.
I
up
know,
onto
not only
it.
am I larger, I'm also like in that giant life jacket. I could not get onto that thing, and I felt so bad. I was just like pulling myself up.
And then I'm like trying to pull her up at the same time. And so then we finally get onto it, we're all settled, and so he starts to hit it again. And then we have these dolphins.
I know. The
that
thing
start
is,
Oh
jumping
my
next-
gosh, that's
riding next to
magical.
this
us.
dude, like, we get back on, and he starts up, acts like nothing happened, and is just like, oh my
Nice.
god, look, dolphins. And we're just like,
We're like about to die.
We're like holding out for dear life with these bananas, and then dolphins are just.
And he's like, oh
And
my
the
God,
guy's
guys,
just like
look.
hard eyes.
I got waterboarded, and I was just like, oh my god.
But then for a split second, I was like, oh crap, is that a shark? And then I was like, oh, it's a dolphin. Thank God.
Anyway,
Jaws 4 banana boat.
so never, ever,
They like chomped the side. Sorry.
never, ever go on a banana boat. It's terrible. I hated it.
Now I want to go on
Except
a
for the
banana
people
boat.
that like
know.
banana boats, I'm sorry. If you like them, you like them.
I don't
I'm so
care.
sorry for all the banana
How
boat stands
dare
out
you.
there. Do not come for me.
Come for me. I don't like banana boats. They're lies. They looked so fun. They
I
were
just,
And
like,
then
why
they
not
kill
just
you.
take the jet ski?
I
That's
know,
what
I
I was
know.
literally just gonna say. Why didn't you guys just do jet skis?
Because we weren't old enough.
Yeah, we
Oh,
were very.
no. Awkward.
I am a child.
I am a child. Do not throw me off of this banana.
Wow, awkward for you.
Yeah. Wow.
I know you got like out of high school or whatever. So rude.
Okay, so we went to Disney Springs, got all dolled up.
Yeah, we did.
I wore earrings. I remember that.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was really hot outside, and I wore earrings. I don't.
And I wore earrings.
You can only do that when
Remember,
it's cold.
we went to that pizza place, and that guy was like, "Ooh, your name is so." He said, "Your name is so exotic to you."
It's a season,
I remember that. We ate at Planet Hollywood, didn't we?
Yeah,
Did we go?
that was.
Pizza for lunch?
I did not like eating there.
No, that was weird. Well, we went because
It was
we
like-
wanted to see the memorabilia. And
It-
I thought
yeah,
it was like,
which was super cool.
Yeah.
I was geeking out. I remember I like stood in front of like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, like they had one of his costumes, and I just
Yeah.
stood in front of it and I like shed a tear, and I was like, this is a beautiful moment. And I remember Autumn was standing next to me like, wow. And it was like great because it was like we were two little boys like looking up at a movie poster like that'll be us one day. But really we were just looking at Tobey Maguire's old costume that's literally like worn out. Like that thing was like falling apart. And we're like, wow.
we were just thinking like this is the perfect place for us to eat. We can geek out about like all these costumes
and then
and
it
props.
was literally like, and it was a weird time we ate too.
Yeah.
We walk in there and it's like a sad, depressed, run down. To anybody that loves Planet Hollywood, I'm so sorry for what I'm about
I
to say.
don't think it has many fans.
But like rundown bar.
Yeah.
Literally like old party place that everybody used to go to, but now it's just rundown and sad, and it smells mildewy.
And I kind of thought it was like a relaxed dining situation
I
because
did
I thought it was
too.
like you get your food, you sit down, you can walk around and look at all the stuff. But it was like they
It
were
was
trying to be
awkward.
very formal, even though there was almost nobody in
My
there.
do you remember my salad?
Yeah.
It was so weird. Didn't you get something in a tube?
What? So we get seated, and I guess they have this thing where like sometimes the waiters sing Like
They
we,
sing to you.
Yeah, we go inside. I
Interesting.
remember that at Planet Hollywood being like a
Planet
thing.
Hollywood?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we go in, and I was expecting it to be like memorabilia, but instead it's just like this giant TV screen where they're playing like Kids Bop.
It was horrible. It was really, and it was so
Yeah.
loud.
It was
And
so
like the
loud.
bartender was just like so sad, but he was trying to be like, oh, it was just sad to watch.
Yeah, he was struggling.
He
They were all
really
like
was.
singing.
It was like the definition of a midlife crisis.
Yeah,
It was.
It totally was. I felt so
It
bad for
was.
the dude.
And then also, so we get our menus, and he asks if we want to see the drink menu. And for some reason, in my heat-fried brain, I thought that just meant all of the drinks. Like I thought it just meant like
I said no.
yeah, because I wanted. I was thinking like specialty lemonades and stuff. Like I wanted like
Because
a
you're a
cool
child.
drink.
And then I remember that Autumn said yes, please, and I look at her like, is she about to get crazy on her graduation trip? And I was like, you do? Like I didn't tell her
I
no.
was
I was
just
just
barely
like,
18. I had just turned 18, and for some reason
was
I was
so
wildin'. I'm like, I was like, yes, please. And then you just gave me a look, and I was like, oh no, I want a drink. 'Cause in my brain, drinks are just all drinks. I wasn't thinking
That was
alcoholic
so
drinks.
funny.
So he goes and he's like, okay. And I think he could tell that neither of us are 21, but he brought it to us anyway. So he brings out this drink menu, and then after all of that, we order, and I get a lemonade. I asked him for the drink menu, and then I order a lemonade.
But I remember how you said it was the best part though, and then you like actually like she was looking at the drink menu, and then she closes and says, I think I'll just go with the lemonade instead.
I felt so awkward at that point because he had gone out of his way to go get me
Yeah.
a drink menu,
That
and
was
then he
the
like sat
funniest
there while
thing
I was looking at
ever.
it, and I was just like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go sober today.
She's like, I have to walk after this. So.
Yeah, you know, I have to be her designated driver, so I should probably just get a lemonade. And then he brought it out, and it was like
that was
glowing.
funky.
It was
Lemonade,
glowing.
too.
It just tasted like Minute Maid. It wasn't anything
Oh,
special, but it had
that's
like
sad.
fancy light up stuff
Didn't
in
you get
it.
to keep the cup?
And it was a novelty cup. Apparently, I didn't know that either. So
Didn't you? You didn't take the cup.
I did, but then
You
I think I left it
did.
in the hotel
Oh,
because
yeah.
it wasn't. It was just like this Planet Hollywood cup. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't anything special.
Yeah, that was
Anyway,
funny. I forgot
was
about the
pretty
time
funny.
we were at Hollywood Studios. Remember when we went to the Prime, like that movie,
Oh yeah,
the drive-in,
and
and remember
drive-in.
how the guys. This is the worst part. And you and I we were way better at that point. Like we were more comfortable with each other. But
Yeah.
honestly, you and I were really tired. It was hot out, and it was time to eat. Like we just had to get food. Like we weren't in the mood to talk.
Yeah.
Remember how that and plus it's like movies are playing, so you don't know if you should be quiet.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I wish they had a sign like, "Okay, you can talk," or like, "Don't talk." I don't know. I just needed some ground rules.
I'm trying to watch my Tom and Jerry.
So we get in there, and like they're supposed to be like sassier, right? But he goes, "So are you guys friends?" And then like you
Oh,
and I,
yeah.
and then it was so awkward because he goes, "Is this like a Craigslist situation?"
What?
That was the cringiest thing ever. I felt so bad, and I felt like I had ruined her entire trip at that point because I was like,
No.
we're not like best friends. I feel so bad. And so like then we just were like, oh no, we're friends. And he's like, hi, because you never know. And I was like, what does that mean? That was crazy.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
a side point, but that was really
I totally
weird.
forgot about him. Yeah.
Yeah. That was random.
No, I was not feeling like that at all.
Dude,
Like,
I was just like,
having
just
fun.
give me my burger, bro.
Yeah, like, he was being really weird. He wanted
was
to
super
know,
weird.
like, I don't.
He asked where we were from, which
He
was like
wanted to know where we were
normal-ish.
from,
But then he's
and
like,
how
no, but like,
old were
where are
we?
you? Yeah, and then he asked how old we were. It was really weird.
And like, how did you guys meet? Since she lives in Colorado, and,
Yeah, it
and
was
you had to be like,
super-
well, I lived in North Carolina
Which-
for a little
oh,
bit, and then
my story's just so confusing to tell
Yeah.
people. Like,
You're
it's
I
just
don't
like,
even understand.
I'm like, bro, do you really want to get into this?
yeah,
We're
If
gonna
you're
be here.
emotionally invested, anyways, yeah, it was a lot, but
yeah, it was weird. But I do remember him saying that Craigslist thing, and I was like,
yeah,
oh
that
my
was
God.
bizarre. The Craigslist thing was really weird, and then he said something like, "Don't knock it till you've tried it."
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like, does that mean you've tried it? What have you done on Craigslist, sir? Anyways,
Oof.
Disney Springs was great. A
Yeah.
guy flirted with Autumn at the pizza place and was like, "Oh, Autumn, that's such an exotic name." And then I was right after you, and I remember he goes, "Name," and I went, "Aislinn," and like he didn't say anything about how exotic
Meanwhile,
my
you're
name
like
was.
one of 2 people in the world that's named Aislinn, and he's like, whatever.
But Autumn was so
That's
exotic.
a theme for this trip because I don't remember any of this. Like,
remember all the
apparently I'm just
people
getting flirted with
interactions.
left, right, up, down, sideways, backwards, and I don't remember any of them.
Yeah, that was funny. Disney Springs was like, we didn't have much to do though.
Yeah, we walked around. We went into some stores. You know how you do in a mall.
They
we
were
went
so
to Free
popular.
People, and like
Free People.
I love how we didn't feel like we belonged there. Like I love Free People so much,
Yeah.
but like you walk in and like the girls were like so beautiful and boho and like ambassadors for Goop or something, like very fancy, and you're
Yeah.
like, wow, are you carrying a Blarney stone on you or something? Because like you know how they always have, anyways,
Yeah,
it's so random. But anyways, we all went in there at one point. This is like a different day. We all went in there and like you could tell we were all just like awkwardly looking at scrunchies, and like you could tell they're all like, these girls don't belong in here.
Yeah, we can't even afford to sneak here and Free People.
Anyways, yeah.
So yeah, we shopped.
That was about it.
The cop.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
that's when it got interesting.
yeah. So we wanted to. I always grew up like you. You grew up going to
Port Orleans,
Port
Riverside.
Orleans, and you had all
Shout
these
out, it's
memories
amazing.
there.
Go there, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I grew up going to Fort Wilderness. We would always stay in Fort Wilderness, and they have this cool little like movie set up, and it is like a show. Like you have to get there at a certain
Yep.
time. There's bleachers, there's a campfire, there's a movie, giant movie screen. Chip and Dale come out and perform for you for a little bit. Like it's a whole thing. And so I was like, oh, we should totally do that. But at that point, we were so tired, and I feel like we just didn't. We would have had to taken a bus from Disney Springs to the front of Fort
Yeah.
Wilderness, and then another one to the back of Fort Wilderness. And I just remember us being like, it's already so late, and we're so tired. We just want to go see a movie. And I remembered like, oh, that website has all these other resorts where you can watch movies. So I just go to the nearest one. Like one of them was just a walk from Disney Springs. It was like the vacation club thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, they're playing this movie. So we go over there, and it was kind of
It was
a long
Ratatouille, and I
walk.
was stoked. I was
Yeah.
excited.
It was Ratatouille. So we go, and we get stopped on the boardwalk.
That was so awkward.
we were looking at the map because we were trying to figure
That's
out
what it was.
where
yeah.
exactly this movie thing
Because
was.
it's like right off of Disney Springs.
Yeah, yeah.
Like literally, you can walk there. So we did.
And we were looking at the map, and this security guard, I want to say that he had an 80s, like,
He totally did.
mustache.
Yeah.
He did. He had like a...
Yeah.
I don't
Which
wanna
made
refer
it
to
even
as a porn
creepier.
stash, but
And
I
then he
feel
had
like
a
that's what I've
fanny
heard.
pack too, which normally I am all for a hands-free belt satchel. But this man plus the mustache was not a good
No,
vibe.
It was not a good vibe. And
No.
at first I thought he was being helpful. So I
Which
was like,
he was like semi. He didn't know what he was
Yeah.
talking about, but at least he helped.
yeah, well, I
yeah.
was like, in a situation like that, I guess I usually wouldn't be so open, but we were lost, so I really
were so
needed
lost.
directions. Like, I usually would have just been like, oh, we're fine. We're asking, he's trying to give us directions, and he says,
Didn't he say, "You little ladies look lost" or something like
yeah,
that?
it was something really creepy.
It was super creepy.
So I tried to get his directions. Oh, that's what it was. I was like, hey, we're looking for this movie thing, and I showed him what it was called.
Yep.
And he was like, oh, you don't want to go there. And we
That
were
was
like,
awkward, yeah.
oh, yeah, but like we do.
We do though.
So you could just like
Can you just tell us where to go?
Please?
And he was like, no, seriously, like you guys don't want to go there. Like if you want to see a movie, you should go to a movie theater. And I'm just kind of like, all right.
It's for the ambiance.
I was just
sir.
trying to get him to go away at that point, so I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like we'll just walk around, it's fine. And then he like moves his little bike around to us, like to get to the other side of us. I remember
Yeah.
he did this little move where he like
Yep.
kind of pulled his bike around, and he asked if we had fake IDs. Like
That's right. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I totally forgot about
I
that,
don't
dude.
remember how
Yes.
he got to that conversation.
He
topic.
literally just did it.
I
he
think
was
that
just
he
like,
was
so.
just like, so how's your day going, ladies? And we were like, it's good.
awkward.
It was good until this.
You shut up, sir.
And he was like asking us if
Picture, okay, remember in Despicable Me, what is it, 2 or 3? The
yeah.
dude, the jazzercise, like,
Oh, yes.
villain. Picture him. That's what this dude looked like in, like,
That's what this dude
spandex,
looked
like, because he's supposed to be, like, a resort cop or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, continue. But
He's
that's
supposed
just,
to be
just so
helpful.
you can picture
Yeah,
what
he's
it looks
supposed to
like.
serve and
That's
protect.
what he was
As a Disney
creepy.
security guard, your mission is to serve and protect and be magical at the same time. But
big
he was
order.
really creepy, and he like skirted his little bike around to get another look at us, and then he asked if we had fake IDs, and we were like, "What?" Like at first, I thought he was trying to sniff him out or something. 'Cause he's a
Yeah, I
cop.
did too.
Yeah, I was
And
like,
then
"Are
by
we
the
getting
end,
in trouble?"
I think he sold fake IDs.
Yeah, I was like, "Are we getting in trouble for not having fake IDs?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Cause you know they're not even that hard to get." And I was like,
That
"Oh
was the
my
part that was
God."
weird.
He's trying to get us to go to a bar.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Cause they're not even that hard to get, and you guys look so old. Like you could get into the bars
The part,
around
yeah,
here if you had a
yeah.
fake ID." And at that point, I was
God.
like, I was looking around, and it
There
had
was
just gotten
nobody.
dark. and there was nobody at all
So
within
it was
sight.
it was really like, oh, so
And
we're
you
gonna
were-
die now.
Yeah, it got
Um,
like scary at that point.
Yeah.
You
we
were
were
still a
just
minor at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
we
was
were like, I
17.
looked all the way down each side of the sidewalk and into the resort, and there was not a
Nothing.
single soul.
Yeah, and the path that he told us to go down.
Yeah, it was even darker.
Yeah,
and
there was
creepier.
no lights at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't remember how we got out of that situation, but anyway.
So basically, he was just like, yeah, well, if you guys are really set on going there, take this path. And he gave us these, like, super, like, detailed directions that we did not know and understand at all. And then he, like, skirted
Well, I was
away.
in fight or flight mode, so I probably wasn't listening.
That's true. Right. And I was just like, yes, oh, thank you, sir. And then we, like, walked away. And he thankfully biked away at that point.
Yeah.
Then he met us up again.
Yeah, so then we go on our merry way, and we're, like, trying to find other people. Yeah, so we
Segue.
go onto the path, and then we are around more people, so that's a little bit better. And then we kind of get lost.
Nice.
I'm just continuing on through your burps.
Because you know me that well. You're
Yeah.
comfortable.
We kind of get lost, and then at some point we like turn around, and he's biking up right behind us again. This
creepy.
dude is like not leaving us alone. And I remember he stopped and said something else, but we were
But we didn't even catch what he said because
No.
honestly, we were like
because we didn't stop. We were
we
still
were so
walking.
anxious about like the whole situation at that point. We didn't even. We literally. He said something weird.
Yeah.
Like I remember we both were like,
it was
what?
like a bike cat call.
Yeah,
was
and
it the
I was
drunk
like,
thing?
excuse me, sir.
Was it the drunk thing, or are you getting to that?
The drunk thing?
Yeah, I thought you said that Aislinn like tripped over the
wasn't
sidewalk
drunk.
or something, and he went. Is she
Oh
drunk?
my gosh!
Oh, I forgot about that.
Why do I know this story better
Yes,
than
yes,
Aiden?
yes. Okay, so after that, then he took us to where the movie happens.
Yeah.
And he was honestly correct. It was so underwhelming. It was very sad. They
It
weren't
was
even
nothing
doing it
like
that
Fort
night.
Wilderness. It was a tiny blow up thing, and there were like two kids
Behind
there.
a building. It
And
was
you-
not
Yeah,
cute.
it was like in the grass next to
It
a
was
closed
horrible.
restaurant.
It was
yeah.
horrible. So we didn't do that. So then we're like, okay, well, we'll just go. And he follows us, and he keeps following us on his bike. And then, like, I'm walking, but I'm nervous. And when I walk nervous, things happen. Something happened, I tripped. And then he has, like, the nerve to say, like, oh, is she drunk? After he already asked us about the fake
he was
ID
like laughing
thing.
about it, thinking that we had lied to him. He was like, "Oh, she's drunk, isn't she?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
No.
and then he said something else about fake. He was like, "You like seriously? You should get the." Anyway,
It was so and he was like he was just creepy, honestly. He
Yeah.
was just a creepy individual, and we were like, okay, we're done with him.
like having creepy conversations with someone is something as long as you can get out of it. But like he was seriously following us
he was
around
on
the
a bike
entire
and he
resort.
followed us.
Yeah, so we didn't even feel safe enough to walk back through Disney Springs
No,
and
we
get
caught a
back that
bus.
way. So we went to the bus stop and then we got a bus because there were other people there and we
Yeah.
were like, let's just get.
And
on
I
the
remember
bus.
even when we like got to like the bus stop and like we're sitting there, like remember like that other group of like girls, like they were like, cause he like rode by on his bike and said like one more thing to us like before we left. And I remember the other girls were like, you know, like that dude is kind of weird. Like they said
Yeah.
something like that, and we were like, yeah, whatever.
Yes, he
No
is. Like,
But yeah, that
do
was
you know?
weird.
But the
That
thing
was a
is, the
weird
bus
story.
still dropped off at Disney Springs, so we definitely wasted more time. But we just didn't want to go back
did.
through the dark parts
No.
of that resort.
That's probably smart. That's how people get murdered.
Honestly, we're
Yeah.
very smart individuals.
Honestly, like thinking back to it, I was just too lazy and also really scared. But like, I wish that we would have told somebody about that because he
Mhm.
shouldn't get away with doing something like that,
Yeah.
especially at Disney World.
Yeah.
So
he's
I wish we
creepy.
could have like complained.
If you're a Disney employee,
Yeah,
so
if
you
that
know.
was you, I think your name was Mike. I don't know why, but I'm pretty
Really?
positive it was Mike. Like he looked like that was such a Mike move.
He definitely did look like a
We
Mike.
know.
We know so many mics.
And none of them. Well,
Okay, so now that we have done that, we are
Yeah.
finally to the day that
Oh my
both groups
this is
finally
great.
come back together.
Honestly, we were really happy to be back.
I know,
Mhm.
it was,
This was the
probably my
best day.
favorite day.
It was kind
also
of so sad that it was the last
I
day, but
know.
it was so
Yeah.
much fun.
it was the last day. It was
Yeah.
also the most chaotic day.
It
I have
really was
so many
chaotic.
things.
We have a chaos. Yeah.
It was so nice.
Now that we're 2 hours in, this was the most chaotic day.
Oh my god.
the funniest day ever.
So I have them listed in importance. Important.
Yes.
Whatever. The first one is the Nemo show.
Okay. I am really sorry.
No,
I feel
I just
so
want to start
bad.
off by saying I'm really sorry.
Like they were all like super supportive, but I was like, we have to go see the Nemo show. I grew up watching that. I love it. And they were all like really not wanting to do that, and I didn't know why. I was like, they're kind of being really weird about this. Okay, who doesn't love Nemo?
I know we were being
Um,
stinks, I'm sorry.
We go to Nemo, and I realized, oh my gosh, this is why. It was okay, sorry to anybody that likes Nemo. I'm very sorry because I love it still in a way, but it was so
I think
bad.
our parents are just very different because you grew up going to it and loving it. Our parents were like, "That's stupid," and we're not watching it.
They're like, I know you're 2 years old, but we're not going to the
Yeah, they're like, "I don't want to."
I remember
sit
we
through
like
that.
walked in, we sat down, and the place smells like pee and mildew. Like that's just how it smells.
Yeah.
And like we sit down.
Oh,
And we're
imagine
like
how
in
many kids
between
have
all
peed
these
in
like
there.
3-year-olds.
Yeah.
So it's like me, and I sit down, and I'm like all happy and like wiggling in my seat because I'm like my childhood, and these 3 girls are just like stone faced, like this is stupid. And I was like, they're being such party poopers. And then the lights dim, and I just hear, in the big blue world. And I knew, I was like, I made a mistake. And it was so bad. I remember looking over, because I was like trying to be like, sorry guys, like during the show. I look over at Skish's face, and she was so angry. The angriest I've ever seen her. It was like the face of death itself. And she looked at
thing
me,
is, I
and
didn't
she
mean
just
to.
menacingly shakes her head no, like,
The
Like,
moment
what
that
have
a
you done?
4-year-old woman prances out onto the stage wearing a
In
blue
spandex.
morph suit,
Holding a fish.
holding a fish, or no, an orange morph suit,
Yeah.
holding a fish, pretending to be Nemo, who's
No,
like
she
supposed to be
was
a
in an
6-year-old
orange
boy.
jumpsuit holding a puppet. It was a giant like
Yeah.
fish on a
Yeah.
stick. And she was just like going around making its tail swing or whatever.
And you can tell that the performers in the Nemo show, like,
oh no.
they applied to every other show, and all
Yeah.
the shows were like, no, honey,
yeah.
because we'll give you an example of the vocal performances. I'll put in a clip.
It wasn't good.
There's
Where is my dad?
there's one
I
song
love my
that they
and it goes on for like a minute, and you're like, oh dear
they
God.
sing that song
That's-
5 times.
That's when that's when I looked at Skish, because literally it goes, I love my dad, and it continues on for a minute straight, and I look over at Skish and she's like, I hate you. Like, that's all there is
It's
to
so
it. She's
dumb.
like,
this friendship
friendship
is over.
is over.
Yeah.
She's like, what we had, gone. Obliterated. This is the worst day of my life. I felt so bad.
No, it's
So then we
fine.
finally get out of that, and like it's like this awkward moment of silence. Like nobody will speak, and so I had to like fill the silence, and I'm like, so guys, that wasn't good.
I think I was silent because I was sitting so far away from you that I didn't know how you were reacting. So we got out of this, and I thought that you had like fulfilled all your childhood dreams. So I was like, I didn't want to bring you down after all that. So I was just like, let's let Aislinn revel in it. And then you were
Dude.
like, that was horrible.
There was also
The Righteous Dude video
Yes.
is funny though.
Yeah.
there was one part. What is his name? I'm so
Crush?
stupid. Crush.
Yeah.
So the one part
Squirt's
that
cute.
Crush has on this, he makes the entire crowd chant with him "Righteous Dude," but in the most surfer lingo voice you've ever
that's
heard
So
why
he's
in
like
your life.
righteous.
I know.
Righteous dude. That was the only part that I did enjoy. I got to sit there and be like, righteous dude.
That's really good.
Thank you.
You sound like the fish in SpongeBob. That one that's always like dying.
My
like dying.
immediately
I knew
knew.
exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, I would not suggest you go see the Nemo show. It just wasn't.
It had its time.
Yeah. it
Maybe
did.
when I was
Its
5.
time has long gone and passed. They need to bring another
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
in there.
But
But
the
the
show-
cool theater.
Yeah, but the show that made up for it was the Lion King.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah,
That
then we
one's
went
fun.
to Lion
great.
King, and that was like the best. Oh, but after the Lion King, we came out, and there was like these African dancers. They're like do
Yes.
do 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 do. So we all get out, and then they're like doing the African dances, and we're
Yeah.
all sitting there, and you can see Aislinn's like.
I was
She's-
itching,
she wants
man.
to go
Yeah, I
out
was
there
like, it's
so
time.
bad, but she
Well,
doesn't.
the thing too was that like those poor girls, they were dancing. They're amazing performers. Nobody was going out, and it was just like all these like sad, sweaty, hot white people, like white bread basic class of people, just like with their Disney hoodies and their sprayer thingy madoobers, just not giving any fun experience.
But,
so
okay.
I was like, okay.
If you guys want to know, Aislinn loves dancing
Yes.
Yes.
in her own way.
Let's just say that crowd of people was her
that's true.
crowd.
It totally
Those
was.
dancers.
It was.
I
I feel like I was taking one for the team because you guys both looked at her and you were like, absolutely not.
Yeah, and then I
so
just
then,
dragged
so then
Autumn.
Autumn's
Yeah.
like, fine, I'll go with you. And Autumn
was
gets
great.
into the very back of it. And
I go right up.
Aislinn literally gets in front of these professional dancers. And
I'm like,
"Hey, what's up?"
They have to
She's doing
ask
her
her to
thing,
move
And then
back.
they like literally grab her by her shoulders and move them behind.
That was a sad moment.
I remember that. I was getting into it. I was getting confident, and I was like,
But
"Oh,
remember,
we
so,
look
like
so
they pushed
cool."
us back, and then they
Yeah.
pushed us up though.
They pushed us up, so I was like, "Oh wow, we're killing it." So
Okay.
okay, we're really good at this. So
so
then
funny.
we just keep like jamming. We're
really
grooving.
did.
And then these two beautiful, super sweet African ladies just grab us and they pull us on back to way back behind the other girls in spirit jerseys.
And they're
that
all
aren't even moving.
cheerleaders. They're all cheerleaders.
You know
that are,
what's
like,
sad is that the
laughing so
cheerleaders
hard,
got
and
up
they're
in front. Like we were the real OGs, and then these cheerleaders are just.
I
Like,
think
oh
they
my
just
God.
wanted everyone to have their moment to shine, which I understand. But like those
Cheerleaders
girls,
always have their
Some of
moments.
us shine brighter than others.
yeah, I can't help that I'm just a bright and shining star. And they weren't even dancing; they were just kind of swaying
They
back
really
and forth,
weren't.
and we got pulled behind them, and I was like, "Dude, you don't see my potential?"
And they're doing like all their African dancing. Like,
I was
Yeah.
getting into it.
It was fun. Although
You and I
upon
were.
further
and Ace is like
reflection,
flipping her hair everywhere while
Yeah.
dancing.
If you gotta flaunt it, I mean.
after seeing that video, though, I looked at myself
I
in a
look
very
like a
different
deranged
way.
orangutan, and I stand by that. I honestly, I never realized how long my arms were, and after that video, I was like, oh no.
No.
But
And
that
then
was
what
fun.
happened? Oh, and then it started raining, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Dude,
was just
that
Oh,
was amazing.
We got like a split second where we got to sit on those benches and like eat whatever. I remember going into that store.
great.
I had a dad shirt on because I was very proud of that.
Oh, that dad shirt was so cute.
I loved it, but I had my hair up because I was sweaty, and so I got my thing from the store. I got like a slushie or whatever, and as I was walking away, he was like, "Have a good day, sir." And I just paused. I just
my
stood
gosh,
where I
forgot
was,
about
and I
that.
was like, "Oh no," and I just kept walking. I don't know why that hit so hard.
And then it like starts pouring.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Boom. Like it was even worse than like the day at Magic
was bad.
Kingdom. Like,
Florida rainstorms are no joke. It's like
Yeah.
0 to hurricane.
yeah.
That was literally
But it
the same.
wasn't that windy. It was just like raining
So I remember, like-
flippin' much.
And it was storming.
You guys
Uh-huh.
brought cute umbrellas or something.
Yeah, but they didn't work
They,
very
like,
well.
flipped
Okay,
out.
so this was the thing. So, like, I honestly don't even remember where you two went. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Autumn,
That's okay.
and I'm sorry, Skish. I don't remember. But it was like Kiara and I were like stuck in the middle of this really intense storm, and it was like amazing.
and we're
and,
kind
like,
of like dancing in
We
it.
really
though,
were. Like, I
honestly.
didn't want an umbrella, and I was like, Kia, let's dance in the rain. And so we were like dancing around. Everybody thought we were crazy. Looking back, we probably were because we could have gotten struck by lightning, but we didn't, and so we're fine.
But I'm wearing a tie-dye shirt that I had just tie-dyed like the day before. and so it's
no.
all dripping down me. And
Weren't
like,
you wearing white shorts?
yeah, I was
And
wearing
then I was like
white
dyeing the
shirt.
shorts. It was really funny.
It was funny.
Oh, you're gonna hear me chewing, aren't you?
I
She's
think the
eating
reason
right
we were
now.
separated is because we had all been, it had just started pouring, and we had all huddled under this little, all four of us had huddled under this little tiny umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys were like, we should go to that store, because
Yep.
it's right down there. So you guys book it to the store.
But
and
we
I'm
were
a-
kind of like not under it a little bit. Like we were
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
me and
And
her were still getting soaked
more
on
people
one
were
half
coming
of
to
us.
try to get under it too, so we
Yeah.
were like, we gotta go. And
And
so
we
I
just didn't
start
wanna be
trying to go too, and Sasha is like freaking out, and she's like, no, I can't go out there. I can't go out there.
Oh.
So you're like
That was
trying
a bad
to stay
storm for
under
sure.
this
I hated it.
umbrella, and they're gone. They're like, they went out to
Sorry.
the store,
So fine.
and I'm just sitting there like, well,
But we're
we can
like,
go into the store.
but we're like me and Asen are like
Yeah, we literally were
skipping,
so
like-
oblivious, like,
such a joyous time, and I was staring there
Sasha
like,
was like having a panic attack
Yeah,
under this umbrella.
and we're just like willy nilly just skipping down the street in
skipping,
the
like
rain.
lightning going all
Yeah.
above us.
So then we take one of their umbrellas just to be like, okay, we have an umbrella, and then it gets windy and it flips up.
yeah.
And we thought it was so funny. We were dying laughing.
were just
probably
laughing
did
and,
look
like-
deranged. Like everybody looking at us from like under the umbrellas was like, oh my gosh, those people are crazy because they're like not under an umbrella, they're just dancing in the rain. And then at one point, it literally became like a river of water
Yeah.
going down
And like
the street.
we like took our
And
shoes off.
And we
and,
took
like-
our well, it was so funny too because I was, Kiara, get on my back, and so she got on my back and we were like skipping down the street. Then Kiara falls off my back, and the water was so strong it pushed her downstream. So literally, I just am like, sorry, Kiara, and then she's like, it's not
She's in a
and
water
she's
ride.
like, she's literally
where
just
were
drifting
we?
down. Seriously, this is the thing. This is the greatest moment. She's like drifting like downstream, and like all these people are watching her just like go by. Like, what is wrong with them? And I'm just laughing. And then we were so soaked.
Yeah.
We were
like,
like-
so we finally get to the store.
I feel really bad for
And we
this,
like are
honestly.
literally like just like
We're
we
sobbing.
obviously aren't taking our shirts off.
No,
but we're
listen,
like
we're
pretty much
girls.
just like
we can't do that.
Yeah. I remember
but we're
you
pretty much
doing
just like
that.
pulling it up as high as we can and just like ringing it, and it's just like
Yeah.
all inside the store. It's just
And then
falling
so then we walk
everywhere.
into the store and like our shoes are going like getting all
Yeah,
as we walk through the store. There's huge puddles of water behind us, and there was this woman that had to get out a mop and a broom, and she was behind us, and she was giving us a stink eye as we walked through the entire store. We should have just like
And we kind of just stayed. Like that's where we like shopped there for
horrible,
like
too.
an
We
hour.
didn't even just walk out. We shopped there, so we'd stay in one place for too long, and there'd be a huge puddle. Oh
my
Then
gosh.
we just look at each other and be like, "Let's
Like,
get out of
let's
here," and we
go.
like move on to a different. She had followed us through the entire
yeah.
store, just mopping up after. I felt
She
so
probably
bad.
has to do that so often.
Her
You're
stink eye
fine.
was hilarious. She was
Yeah,
so mad
it
at
was
us.
like-
Stink eye was real.
It was hilarious. So then we decided to go to the bathroom, so we got to go back in the rain, and then we went to the bathrooms. And the love bugs, you remember the love bugs in those
Yes, oh my
stalls?
gosh,
That
it
was
was so bad.
insane.
Oh,
It
in
was
the
so bad.
bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh my
They,
gosh.
like, because it was like a bathroom without a door, you know, just like one of those huts looking ones. It was crazy.
And then what happened after? Then is it to
Pandora.
is it to Pandora?
I think it's the
we
pinnacle of
gotta
the
talk
Disney trip.
about Face Paint Girl.
Oh yeah, first of all,
She
Face
was
Paint
in-
Girl.
So was it after the rain? I think it was before.
No, it was after because it
No,
was
it was
running.
after.
Remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we go into this was the first time we had been to Pandora.
Oh my gosh. Changed
All the
my
four
life,
of us.
you guys.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
So we go into the Flight of Passage line, and this is probably one of the weirdest things that has ever happened to me. But in the line, there's this girl that's like maybe a couple families in front of us.
She's by herself.
She's by herself. She
Was
looks super
Yeah,
chill.
she was by herself when she first got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she has her entire face is covered in blue face paint. Like she was trying, like she got it done to be a Navi, like
Props
character.
to her, because that's cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
sick.
It was probably beautiful when it first
And it was
happened.
But the
probably
thing is,
expensive
because
too,
of
sadly.
all of the rain, it had just dripped down her face,
Oh,
and
poor
it
Yeah.
dear.
So
got
she was
all-
just a Smurf.
yeah, poor thing.
But
you
then
said
we
that.
were like trying so hard to get a picture of it, but yet
Yeah, you
so
guys
Autumn,
are teaching me how to do
Sneaky pics.
Yeah, so Autumn like
It's
puts
so
it
interesting.
puts it like she's on a phone call and
I
is
feel
like
so
taking
bad for this,
pictures
dude.
all of this woman.
And then she goes, Aislinn, try it out.
And then it's like a picture of your cheek or something.
Yeah, but then I go, and so I like bring the phone like to my mouth and I'm like taking pictures, and it's so awkward.
You can probably like see her in there just
tell.
looking at you.
Seriously, I have like 50 pictures of this girl, never delete them,
Yeah.
and she's looking at me like straight eye contact the entire time. She knows what I'm doing. I feel horrible. If you're watching, I don't know why you would listen, but if
You're
you are
amazing though.
listening,
You're
you were
amazing.
smart.
Just so you
you
know.
are so cool.
I hope
wanted
the
to
best
be your
for
friend.
you. I hope you're
Really.
doing great.
Also, your day got a lot better.
We're
also,
gonna
we
get
for
to
sure
that.
can't put that picture in.
No, we won't. No, that's a picture of a random person.
Yeah, we
You're
would
not
do
supposed
that.
to do that. It's
Yeah.
fine.
But so then we get to the best part of the entire
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, literally,
Truly
this is
made
it.
it.
So I
This is
can't
it.
remember if her and the guy had gotten together during the line or if this was after the ride.
I think it was
really.
during the line.
Yeah, it was
It was
Okay,
during
so-
the line. He like showed up somehow.
Yeah, so
So
Actually,
there was
like,
this like
so-
super tall French dude.
Yeah,
like
so
so tall. So tall.
This guy's like 7 feet tall.
like
Yeah.
had to like duck under like the queue like cool
Yeah.
rocks and stuff.
I think what happened was he was in front of the family in front of her, and at some
Mm.
point like he let them go in front of him for something. So then he was like,
Do you think
For
they
something.
met? Do you think they like met in the line?
they did.
Probably.
Yeah, they did. They weren't together.
That is the cutest love story.
yeah.
I've
Anyway.
I
ever
remember
heard.
like hearing them like introduce
Yeah,
each
Wow.
other.
he was an exchange student.
He was an
right?
exchange student, and he was working at Epcot because he was doing the
Oh.
exchange, like the whatever that's called. Anyway, and I think she was a cast member too. I remember hearing her say something about that.
Of course she was. Oh
I
my
know.
God.
So
know.
they're just having this cute little impromptu date. She's looking like a Smurf, but it don't matter to him because
Seriously,
I
that's
love
the
that
best
for
part.
her.
Yeah.
I know.
Love
can you
that.
imagine looking
Care.
like a Smurf and then you get like
A tall French
you
dude.
get hit on by a
But
tall
yet
French
this
guy?
tall French dude was kind of cute.
He was very cute.
Like-
Oh, not kinda. Yeah,
He
was
kind of
absolutely.
looked
Very
like,
much.
like a mix of Leonardo DiCaprio and like Timothy Chalamet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except giant, because those are both very
Except
tiny
giant.
men.
Yeah. He was
with like
giant.
blonde hair, but like
Yeah.
the face structure kind of
The
looks
face
like
of Timothy Chalamet,
Yeah.
the hair of 90s Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yeah, yeah.
the build of 90s Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yeah, just
and the
tall.
height of like Shaquille O'Neal.
Anyways.
So they are like, you know, they're getting to know each other. We're moving up through the line. And
We're like right behind them and shipping them the entire time.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
We're
it's
just
so
talking about how they're
cute.
gonna have beautiful babies and they're probably gonna be blue. So Flight of Passage has 2 pre-shows. Like you get in one room and you talk about the avatar.
The linking.
And then you get into another room and you hear like the instructions about how the ride's gonna work and everything. So we end
there's
up
2 lines, and so we're in the last
Yeah.
line.
we
Like, we're
end
in the
up
back
like
line.
in the
against the
same
wall.
group as them. So we go onto our little numbers, and it's like Sasha's on the end, and then Kiara, and then Aislinn, and then me. And in front of us, in order, is the French guy, the blue girl,
Yeah.
and then some other people that we don't remember. So they're right in front of us. And do you want to do an impression of the guy, not the French guy, the guy on that asks you to do something in the pre-show video?
Oh, I don't have an impression. Oh,
Okay.
move around a little bit. Make sure you can see.
That's an impression.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a part of the video where the dude says, move around a little bit to make sure everyone can see the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was being so nice. The
He
tall
really was.
Frenchman in front of me, I couldn't see a thing.
Because he's so tall, he's used to people
so
having
He
to like.
was literally
yeah.
a wall in front of me. And he didn't ask me if I needed to see.
Uh-huh.
So cute.
He instead looked behind me, realized that I was so very small compared to him. And then he wanted to get out of my way. Instead of being a normal person, like stepping to the side or even like literally anything else,
He could
switching
just, like,
places.
lean
It
in.
honestly
yeah.
was pretty tight in there too.
Yeah,
It's a
like
he
small
could have
room.
like asked to switch places or something like that. I understand he didn't speak much English, but what he
and
shouldn't
his
have
boo
done
was up front.
what he shouldn't have done is what he did, which was put both of his hands on his knees and straight up put his butt on me.
Yeah.
He squatted down, popped his booty.
Yeah, it wasn't just a squat. It was a
No.
full-on twerk position, booty pop.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was like, he was on me. Like, there was no room. It was such a small space.
And nobody can hold that position without moving
Yeah.
around, so he was kind of twerking
He
on
was
you.
Yeah, it was like
real twerking on me.
and so it's kind of twerking.
I just remember, like, I left my body for a moment.
Dude,
I
I
did.
go into the room, and I see my, how old were you, 13 at that point?
14,
I see my 14-year-old sister being twerked on by this 7-foot-tall French guy. And I'm like, what the heck is happening? And all 3 of us have just noticed this. And we are
dying.
We are dying laughing. Like, I am wheezing. I remember holding my mouth, like, trying so hard not to just bust out laughing.
We're like,
Dude.
like, oh god,
That was
it
so funny.
bad.
I
Like,
remember I went into fight or flight and I just stood there and I was so in shock I didn't know what to do. I was just like pressed up against a wall. I was like, oh.
I remember I looked over at her as I was laughing, and she looks over at me and she mouths, "What do I do?" Like, she's like, "What do I do?" And I just laugh and I just point at her. I'm like, and then I remember this death glare. Like, I hate you so
didn't
much.
know what to
Because
do.
she was completely pressed against the wall. She couldn't
Yeah,
go
she
anywhere.
literally couldn't do
And
anything.
it wasn't like he was just squatted in front of her.
No.
There was full-on contact.
There was. I didn't
I
need
mean,
that.
the intention was there. Like, he wasn't trying to be
Yeah, he
creepy.
was like so
He
nice.
literally was just
And,
trying
like,
to be like,
yeah.
let her see,
He's
but it
trying
was
to
in
be
a weird way.
gentleman.
And then after a while, the video was long, and so he got uncomfortable because he was in a very uncomfortable situation,
Yeah,
and
that's
so was
so
I.
uncomfortable.
And so he moved around because he was uncomfortable. And he should not have. He was bouncing between his knees. He was straight up just twerking on me.
I forgot about that. He was shifting his weight
Because
side
he
to
was
side.
he was getting tired, and I was like, Anyway, so then he is rolling his shoulders because this is uncomfortable. So then he slowly stands up, looks back at me to ask, he didn't say any words.
Yeah, but
in
I do remember
English.
him turning around to
Yeah,
see you.
he was
Poor buddy.
basically asking me if he could stand up, and I literally remember being like, "Please do." Please, you're
Yeah.
good, man. I don't care.
I've never heard that side of you come out when you're talking to a stranger before. Like, you sounded like you were just talking to me. You were like, please stand up. Like, please get up.
I was just like, man, you're good.
You were fine.
funny.
Oh
my
I had no
gosh.
filter at that point. I couldn't be nice about it. I was just like, please stand up.
Yeah.
I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we had gotten in that line, right at closing.
We
so that
really
was,
did.
the last ride of the last
so-
day of the trip.
Yeah, and we had stayed there for we were probably Oh, so we rode it one time, and then we came back to do that time.
Yeah, that was our second time.
Yeah, and so it was like we got in line like right as the ride, like right
they
as the
closed.
whole park was about to close.
Yeah.
And so we got to stay at the park for like 2 hours after it was supposed to close or
That
something.
was cool.
Which
It
was
was
cool
cool.
because
And
there was
then
like nobody
that
there.
was
The French guy and the Smurf girl ended up walking away together.
Yeah.
That
after
was
the
so
ride,
cute.
So
I think
if
they
you
went on a
guys are
little date.
That
listening
was
to
so
this,
stinking cute.
Yeah.
we hope you guys had an amazing
Yeah.
relationship
We
and are
absolutely
still
shipped
together.
you, and I'm so sorry that you might have been jealous of my 14-year-old sister. Who gets worked on
I'm
by your
sorry that I
boyfriend.
got in the way. I wasn't trying to wreck your home, man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I had no choice in the
We
matter.
need to like connect with this guy somehow because I
Yes.
want to know if he. Like,
If he even knew what he was doing.
She told him after.
I really do
I feel
wonder.
like she totally noticed too. I feel like I remember
Oh
seeing
yeah,
her go like.
because all three of you were wheezing so loud, and everyone. Okay,
pretty obvious what was
everyone
happening.
was aware of what he was doing except for him.
him.
He had no idea.
funny. It like leveled the playing field
Even
for
the
their
cast
relationship.
member standing in
though.
the corner, I feel like was like.
Yeah, and the thing is, it wasn't even us exaggerating. His butt was
No, it
on
really
me.
was.
I was just like, I don't know what to do, sir. I would have to just look up.
Seriously, you would not. Yeah, that
I
was
didn't know
great.
what to do.
No,
Out
that
of
was so
all
funny.
of us to have that happen to you, I was just like, I don't.
Yeah. And then I cried on the ride because it's so beautiful.
It was beautiful.
That ride changed. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
Anyway,
so
to
good.
sum up our entire trip, that experience was.
That was the
Perfect.
best.
That was the best one. That would be with us forever.
It really will. It was a good trip.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys dropped me off at the airport.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, the car
and then the car.
Okay,
accident.
I didn't know the car.
So
Oh,
we
yeah.
got in. All of us were emotional except for
Yeah,
Dad.
we were all
who's-
tired and sad.
You're just
Yeah.
like, what happened?
And we had like been here for like 2 weeks, so we were
Yeah.
all like emotionally, physically, everything drained,
Sunburned.
like
Yeah.
and sunburned, and like.
sad.
And so none of us think to tell my dad that there was a car pulling out while we were pulling out. And so
Well, he didn't really even have time to. None of us really had time to react. It was like we were in park, and then while he was putting it into reverse, we noticed that there's another car backing up. So before he didn't even back up at all. He just put it in reverse. And this lady full on like she doesn't like slowly back up and look both ways.
No.
She just rams into the back of our car. Yeah. So she's backing up and completely like rear ends the back of our car.
Oh my god.
And we can like feel it, like it pushes us forward. And so after all of that, and it's like the last day of the trip, and we just get into a car accident, and we're like, awesome. And Dad just takes a
Awesome.
breath, and I'm like, oh, he's about to yell at this lady.
Oh.
But he didn't. He went out and looked at it, and it was just like a tiny scratch.
Oh.
And she wasn't really even apologetic.
oh no.
Yeah,
not
she
at all.
Kidding.
No.
She was kind of like, oh, there's nothing there. Bye.
Yeah.
Like she was pretty much
she was
just
like, no damage. And then she drove off.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you're
So-
listening to this,
Yeah.
kudos to you.
You need to maybe learn how to back up out of a parking spot. 'cause
Yeah,
it doesn't
Karen.
seem like. Why is it that hard to
Yeah.
like
Back.
Or
look
maybe
behind
look
you?
behind you.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm a terrible driver. Is what I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm not good. I'm really bad. Like I almost hit people all the time.
Yeah, but you would
Nice.
apologize for it.
Oh, I would start bawling my eyes out and like give them everything I own and be like,
Yeah.
I am
Do you
so
want my
sorry.
car?
Do you want my credit cards? Do you want my turtle? I don't even have a turtle, but I'll go get you one that I love so much. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the end
now
of our
that it's,
trip.
That's
Almost 2.5 hours.
So,
if
Wait,
you
so
guys
you're
are
down
to
still
2
watching
hours.
this, thank
Yeah,
you
good
so
job.
much.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
was
man.
a lot.
hopefully this explained a little bit of
And it will
are.
only get more chaotic from here,
Yeah.
folks.
And hopefully we gave you a little bit of laughs sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, some giggles during
Yeah.
COVID.
some wheezes.
This is probably something that we
Couple
could
of
all like, like dish about. But other things probably won't just be like completely unscripted 2.5 hours. Like
Really,
we have a
yeah.
lot to talk about when it comes
Yeah.
to our Disney trip.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
the next ones are gonna be epic too.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have some ideas.
I have a feeling we should do an episode where we are on a banana boat, describing the ride.
Absolutely.
You just hear Skins like,
never again.
We'll be on the jet ski.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
We'll be
that's
dragging
great. And then are you guys? Yeah.
This
Yeah.
thing was
Okay.
this was also difficult because we're trying to explain situations without giving much context behind them. So the other subjects will be a lot.
I just
lot
gave a
better to
lot of context
understand.
about
Yeah.
me and my life.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah,
So-
and if you have any ideas, then let us know. If you made it this far and you somehow have an idea for one of our podcasts,
Yeah, man.
Just
yeah.
please.
Leave us it in the comments. Yeah. Will we have those?
On
A
YouTube,
little
yeah.
bit, yeah.
Cool.
TikTok is banter_babes, and then Twitter is just banterbabes.
Nice.
Wow.
We might have an Instagram eventually.
Yeah.
If
Our own
COVID-
Instagrams are private and we will not be giving those.
Yeah.
But
Here's
Yeah.
a clue to finding mine. Somebody that's not hydrated and not a cow.
Perfect. Leave
Mine
it at
is
that.
just my full name, so I'd rather not.
I'd rather not. Anyway,
Oh, that's so funny.
Well,
how do we
Bro.
end this?
Thanks for watching. Out.
Bye,
Thank
babes.
you. That's not,
Peace.
that's not it.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye, Felicia. Okay.